Hope that works. I think it did. We'll see in a second. This is always the nervous
Looks good
part
on
because I
my end.
don't know. Is it look? Yeah, there it is. Yay!
I see a
Good.
live
It
button.
worked.
Okay, great.
It took, this is always the nerve-wracking part for me because I never know if it's actually going to work or if it's just going to fuzzle out on me. So
Yeah, that's technology.
pretty much. Hey everybody, welcome to Friday night. I am here with Natalie, the Ginger Quilter, for a special trunk show and kind of Q&A, meet and greet. She'll be here for the first part of our live stream tonight to tell us a little bit about her business, her subscription box, and really importantly, the Christmas box, which is still open for sign up. It is her first one ever, and it's going to close tomorrow night at midnight. So she's got some special little hints in case you were considering picking that box up. It is a 12 days of Christmas advent calendar. So I don't want to spend too much time talking about me. I just want to dive right into talking to Natalie. Hey Natalie, how are you doing?
Hey Becca, thanks so much for having me. This is so fun. I love it. This is great.
It's a lot of fun. I got to tell you, I am super excited to have you here because I feel a little bit like a fangirl. Your project boxes, I have been getting, I want to say from day one, but I really
I
feel
think
like
you
I
have.
missed one. Have I?
Okay, maybe day two, but from
Maybe
the
day
very
two.
beginning, yes.
All I remember is I was scrolling through Instagram, which is where your main social media is, and I
Mhm.
saw you promoting that, and I went, "Ooh, subscription box, let me get it." And so I went over and I ordered it, and I think I messaged you, or maybe you, I don't remember who messaged who, but I ordered for July, and you sent me the June one for free to open, and I was like, okay. So I was
I
really,
don't remember that part, but that's awesome. That was great. It's been so fun to have you open my boxes on YouTube and on your channel for the whole time. And I feel like it has really gotten my name out there, and that's been invaluable to me.
well, I'm glad. I'm glad it has. I absolutely enjoy the boxes that you're curating. One of my favorite things about what you're doing, I've seen a couple other boxes like the Open Gates box. We talked about that a couple minutes ago. I've seen a couple other boxes starting to steer that way. I love that you are curating a project. I love that you give me everything that I need. It is a full kit. And it's not always in the traditional sense. Sometimes those kits don't have a Moda wrapped charm pack. It is fabric that it looks like you are spending time pulling a bolt out and hand cutting every 5.5 inch square.
Sometimes, yeah.
Talk to me about how this all got started. Like, did you just decide you wanted to cut 5 inch squares for a living?
I mean, basically, no, I'm just kidding. So let's see. So in maybe 2019, yeah, it was 2019, I was starting to get really deep into quilting. I'd probably been deep into it for a couple of years at that point, but I actually purchased a subscription box from Maker Valley. So from what I understand, Quilter's Candy, what is her name?
Elizabeth?
Anyway, yes. So she had a box and then she stopped doing it, but she kind of passed it on to Holly LeSway at Maker Valley. And so I got in when it was the Maker Valley box, and I just loved it. I loved the surprise every month of getting a box in the mail. And I loved the fun colors, and it was like fabric that I didn't even know existed, but it was so cute. And so every month I loved it. And then I got the letter that she was no longer doing it. And I was like, oh, but I love this. This is terrible. What? This just makes me so sad. And it was something I did for myself every month. It was just a little surprise. And so I was like, well, great. Now what do I do? So then it was the beginning of 2020, or maybe it was the end of 2019. I was thinking like, well, why don't I do it? Because shoot, I got time, right? Well, not really. I had 2 kids, but I thought maybe I could make the time. And so I kind of started crunching numbers. Can I make this work? And I just dove in. I didn't really have all the information I needed. And at that time, you know, what's funny though, is at that time, I thought they were the only subscription box. I thought Maker Valley was the only one and that they were gone now. And so there was this big void. Turns out I was way wrong, but but I'm glad I was wrong. And I'm glad I didn't do my research, because if I had realized that there was a lot more on the market, I think I would have scared myself out of it. And so I'm really glad that I went in totally ignorant of how many other boxes there were. But So I just decided to jump in. I think I started announcing in like April of 2020, which was totally not having anything to do with the pandemic, but was, fine, I guess, that it worked out that way. And then I launched my first box. I shipped June of 2020, and we've been going ever since, once a month. So that's the story.
It's been amazing to see you grow and evolve and try things that you liked for a little while, and then you're like, okay, now I'm done with that and I don't want to do it anymore. Like, I remember in 2020, in one of the boxes, you put a little art print and you're like, I like this. So every month we got a little art print to jazz up our space. And I actually have all of them in a 5x7 frame so I can rotate them out. I was a little sad to see them go away, but I'm excited to see the other things come in. I got to tell you, my very favorite thing in any of the boxes, though, and I'm looking for it because I just used it and I don't know where I said it, that silly little desktop vacuum.
Oh, really?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I use that thing all the time.
That makes me really happy because I did get a lot of feedback on that. I didn't really know if it was a hit or not. So I'm actually super happy to hear that you liked that. So that's great.
I loved it. I don't know. I just feel like you put it in the pamphlet. Your desk gets so dusty, and using that to just kind of tidy it up, it's awesome. I showed it off, and I'm looking over here to see if it's here, and I know it's not. I know it's out of, like, behind the camera, so we're not going to go get it. But it's funny because I showed it off, and when I did, there were about a dozen people in the chat that were like, ooh, and they all went over to Amazon and picked one up. So you were onto something with that.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Well, I actually have like 50 left. So if anyone is like dying for one of those, send me a message on Instagram or my email. I will send them to you because I don't know what to do with all these other ones. So
speaking of having things left, I think you're going to do a little trunk show for us tonight to show us some of the projects that you have made for past boxes. So
yes.
Do you want to just get into the trunk show and show off some of the finished projects that I'll just own it right now. I did not finish all of them, so we're going to look at your projects.
Awesome. Okay, so I like intentionally spaced my camera so that when I stood back that it would be okay. So
sure.
And I hope that I can that you can hear me. Okay, so I thought it would be fun to show off this newest box that I just shipped out. This was September of 2022. And this was a pumpkin quilt. Let's see.
Oh yeah, that's this one that I'm working on right now. Look, I got the pieces cut.
So this one, I don't want to cover up my face too much, but I also want you to see the quilt. So yeah. This was a pattern by the Pattern Basket called Pumpkin Seeds. And the fabric is Midnight Magic 2 by April Rosenthal. And this came out actually in 2021, the fabric did. But because I think of all the supply chain issues that we had last year, it really didn't get the attention it deserved. And I think it probably arrived at Moda late. And so stores didn't really get it in. And so when I saw this, and I kind of was like, how come nobody is like, I didn't really see it in circulation. And so, because it's so pretty, I love it so much. So then I was like, that's it, I'm doing it for my box. So this one was really fun. These pumpkins come together real quick. And I love so much that there's this traditional quilted star right here. And it's all black and orange. And it's like a little bit fancy, but like a lot of Halloween. I love that. So
I want you to hold that back up for just a minute before you put it away, because I got to tell you, one of the things that's been hurting my brain is I'm like, oh, pumpkins need to be orange. But now that I'm looking at your quilt, because what you gave us is a mix of orange and whites and blacks and grays.
Yeah.
And I had no clue how to work with that. So now that I see your pumpkin that way, I'm not going to overthink it. I'm just going to make them scrappy dappy do and assume that it all worked together because the designer said it will.
It's so true. They really do work together, and I love it. I do love using fabric lines because then you know that everything is going to fit. Everything's going to work together. I
gotta be honest with you. My mom used to tell, or she still does, I'll get messages from my mom. She'll be like, you are so good at picking out fabric and putting it together. And I don't have the heart to tell her that I didn't do it.
Actually, the
I just
designer
have
made
the
it that
line.
way.
I'm like, thank you.
Well,
I know
thanks,
how to
Mom.
pick a kit.
Yeah, that's right. I love that.
I got a
That's
couple
great.
questions for you before we move on to the next thing. Katie Jolson lives in Greenland. She wants to know, does your subscription box include international quilters if they pay for shipping?
Yes, if they're willing to cover the shipping, then absolutely. I do have to go through it a little bit like roundabout. Like I'd probably do it through PayPal instead of my actual website, only because I have to do that shipping. And I don't think my website is set up for that, but I do ship internationally if that is what you want to do.
Okay. Tiff, if you could just put the link for Ginger Quilter in the chat right now, I'll set up a command as we're going through the trunk show, but somebody could just put gingerquilterbox.com in the chat, which takes me to second question from Bernie Chamberlain. What is Natalie's contact? I would like to order one of your extra desk cleaners, please, and thank you.
Oh, okay. So go to Natalie at thegingerquilter.com. Just send me an email. I don't even think I have them listed on my website because I just am scatterbrained and I haven't thought about it. But so just send me an email there and I will sell you one.
There you go. That works. Okay, let's see if there's anything else in the chat. I don't think so. What are we gonna see next?
Okay, that's a good question. Let's find out. Okay, so I wanted to show you guys my very first kit that I sent out. This was June 2020, and the pattern is a fig tree pattern, and the fabric was a Riley Blake one. So this is, it's called Mini Popsicles by Fig Tree. And in the pattern, she has like the popsicles really bright and colorful, but I had the idea of making them red, white, and blue so that they'd be like those bomb pops that you get in the summer. Plus then it was like a patriotic project. Here we go. That's a little bit better. So the line was fireworks and I don't know, fun and fireworks or something like that. It was a Riley Blake line. But so this was like my first experience buying things wholesale, my first experience buying patterns. It was really fun. So I kind of have a lot of good memories about this one. But I love these little popsicles and I still use this every summer. It makes me feel happy and summery and I love this. So this is a table runner. Should have started with that. And it's a really long one actually. But yeah, this is like a special near and dear to my heart.
I remember that one. I remember that one because you did. When you sent me the box, you substituted the red because you had run out of the red and you put a note in there. I ran out of the red, but I have this one and I think it'll work. That's the only reason why I remember it.
Funny. Yep. That happens sometimes.
I have a good memory.
Oh, that is really a good memory. Okay, let's see. What comes next?
Tiffany said, I messed that one up. Haha. Okay.
Okay, so this next one is another patriotic one. And this was, I don't think I ever have anything special to say about this. So this was a full quilt. I'm going to step back a little.
Oh, the pineapple. Yes.
So this is called Patriotic Pineapple. And the pattern is by Jedi Quilt Girl and Amber. No, Amber's her name. What's her name? G Simple. That's what it is. So we got lots of patriotic pineapples here, lots of different prints. They were really fun. So this one was fun because I got to work. I've gotten to know some pattern designers ever since I've started this because I reach out to them and I don't think it's too often that people get asked, can I have like 150 of your pattern? So I get to know the designers kind of well, and that's been really fun. So I've got to, and like, you know, they're not my best friends or anything, but I think they might like kind of know who I am. So that's nice. Anyways, that was a fun box. I apparently have all my patriotic ones, so I'm going to skip another one. Let's go.
Natalie, I just want to confirm your email address is natalie@thegingerquilter.com.
That's the one. Yep.
Okay, I'm putting this in a command. So anybody that is in the chat, if you want the link to the Ginger Quilter box or the email address, you just do !GQ. And I will also put in there, we'll talk about this a little bit later, but I will also put in that command a link directly to the 12 Days of Christmas box, which is still open and there are limited spots available.
Yes. Thank you so
keep
much for
going.
doing. Okay,
Yeah, not
so
a problem.
next, yeah, I'm going to show you this one. So this was my first and only foundation paper piecing box that I've done. And this was a pillow. I'm going to scoot back. I keep scooting forward and back. So this was a pillow that I did. And the, I'm going to get up close so you can see the cute bees and beehives. So this beehive was by Center Street Quilts. And then this bee was by a designer. I found her on Etsy. Her business is Pieced by Number. I don't remember her name, but anyway, so I kind of used 2 patterns for these, and then I just pieced them all together on a pillow. And the bees were a little bit more challenging. Not like I've done harder foundation paper piecing, and I haven't done a ton of foundation paper piecing, so I wouldn't say it's like the hardest, but it wasn't the easiest. But for a beginner, the beehive was really good because you kind of got a feel for like, okay, this is how I flip it. This is the papers and stuff like that. So I got a lot of really good feedback on this box. People really liked the bees, I think, and I think they liked dipping their toe into the foundation paper piecing. This is a pillow. I know you probably can't see that because I don't have a form in it, but it could have been a table topper. It was whatever you wanted. So I sent enough fabric to make it a pillow, but you know, it's your thing. You do what you want with it.
I actually remember that one. I never got around to doing the beehives because I wanted to do something different. I did do all the bees, but instead of that white for the background, I pulled in a blue so it looked like they were flying. And my idea was to do flowers in the 4 spots and then one beehive in the middle. Yeah, and I got the bees done. I loved them. I went and picked out a flower, and the flower was a little too intricate for my liking, so I actually never finished it. But I have all the bees pieced, and I want to do something with them. So maybe that will be. It's actually sitting up there. Is literally I've got the kit up there. I got to do something with it. But maybe that'll be something I finish this year.
Oh, that'd be awesome. That'd be great. Okay, so I'm gonna do 3 more. I'll do 3 more.
Okay.
It's like 2 or 3. I can't decide. Okay, so this next one was a Valentine's one.
Love that one.
This one is a table topper. So it's like, I guess it's like 30 by 30. It's not, maybe 25 by 25. It's not huge, but it's all like not big enough to be a quilt, but not small enough for a pillow. So this pattern is another one by Jedi Craft Girl, and she has a couple that are like seasonal table toppers like this. Anyway, so I thought it was really fun to do the pink and the red, and then I brought in the teal. And there's 2 fabric lines in here. There was, I don't think I could even tell you what there was, like Just Send Love, and then there was some other one. But because they both came in jelly rolls, and they both had white mixed into them, and I didn't want the white ones. So what I did is I unpacked all the jelly rolls and took out all the white fabric. I still have all those white strips in a box in my garage right now. So I need to figure out what to do with all those white strips because I only sent out the red and the pink. And then I sent the teal that kind of matched. So anyway, that was a fun box. That was a lot of prep on that box.
I am sure somebody in the chat will buy all those white strips off you. We have lots of scrap lovers here tonight.
So many. They're like white and red scraps, and they're all Valentine themed. So if you want a lot of white backgrounds with red on them, 2.5 inch strips, I am your girl. Oh my gosh, I would love to send those to you.
Tracy with the sewing channel just said she'll buy them.
Oh, okay,
she's probably not kidding either.
You got it, girl. Okay.
While we're talking about YouTube channels, Gia from California wants to know, do you have a YouTube channel and any plans to create one in the future?
You know, kind of. Like I technically, yes, I do have a YouTube channel. Is there any videos on it? I don't think so. Because I like have a personal channel and then I have a business channel. And I think at one point I was uploading a few videos to my personal one on accident. and I don't think it ever got moved over to my business one. Anyway, so you could probably like search the Ginger Quilter and find a few videos of mine, but they wouldn't be on the right channel. And it's something I think I'm going to work into maybe in this next year. Because I do like the idea of like putting out content that way. And I think it's way easier. Like I'm not going to do a podcast. Writing actually is not my thing. So like YouTube would be ideal, but so it's on my mind. So maybe, how about that? Is that a good answer? Maybe.
I think that's great. And if you need any help getting it set up, just let me know. I'll be happy to help you out.
I know Becca, I was just telling her she was queen of technology. So she didn't seem to think that was true, but I totally do. So. Okay. I'm going to show this one.
I love that one.
Just this last August. So like last month. Yeah. And this was like, the theme was paint splatters, which seems kind of like very specific, but the fabric was this speckled fabric by Ruby Star, and it was just all solids. Well, not solids, but like all these colors, but they all come with like speckles. I don't know if that's showing up.
Yep.
Okay, so you can see all of them have kind of this brushed gold speckles on them. And there was all the colors of the rainbow in this charm pack. And with this charm pack, I sent the pattern. The pattern is called Hexi Pillow by Modern Handcraft. And so you kind of got to pick your own palette. And that was what I guess I named it that, is pick your own palette. So you got to pick what colors you wanted to put on your pillow. I went with blues because I almost always choose rainbow. So I was like, no, I'm going to try something new. So I did blues, and that box was one of my favorites because like the treat and the gift and everything went so well with it. I found this Bob Ross candy. So think of Fun Dips, and you know, the little wand, the little dipping stick you get in Fun Dips, it was a paintbrush. And then you get to dip it in the colorful like paint, which was just the Fun Dip sugar. Anyway, I just thought it was so funny. Like Bob Ross candy. That was amazing. So anyways, I sent that, and I sent like a little sketchbook so you could kind of draw out quilt patterns if that's what you like to do. So this box just felt very cohesive. And I think when I send a box that feels really cohesive, I feel like I did a good job. So this was one of my favorites. So yeah.
That box, when I got it and I opened it, the first thing I saw was the hexi paper. And I didn't even see that there was the negative space around the hexes. And I went, no way, not going to do it. I'm not hand sewing. Absolutely not. And then as I'm unboxing it, my brain was starting to register that you weren't going to hand sew the hexes together. You were going to put them on a nice background and just like applique them down or quilt them down. Yep. And then I was like, ooh, I could maybe do this. And what transpired out of that is I have discovered that I low-key love basting hexes with glue. And that's because of your silly little challenge to send me something that I thought I was going to have to hand sew. So thank you.
I'm not much of a hand sewer myself. So yeah, these are totally, you just like glue them into place and then you sew over them. And I'm all about that. So yeah. I'm glad that you loved that. And I'm glad that I didn't scare you off too bad with the hexes.
Not completely. I've actually had a couple of people reach out. I've said that I really enjoy just basting the hexes. And they're like, oh, you know, there's Facebook groups where you can sell your pre-basted hexes. I was like, well, there's my calling. I'm just going to go.
Yeah, that's like full-time income. You're just going to baste hexes for a living and...
Done. Who needs a 9 to 5? No more YouTube channel. We're all done. I'm just going to baste hexes. Works out.
Yeah, that's right. Shut it down. Okay. All right. So now I'm going to show you my very last one, and this will be a good segue into the Christmas box. So, all right. So this was December of 2021, and the pattern is Vanessa.
What's a mini? Lala Boutique. It was a mini. Yes. Lala Boutique.
So that was a Lala Boutique pattern, and this is a wall hanging quilt. It's like you could do it as a lap quilt, but it would be a pretty small one. So it's really more of a wall hanging. And the line was Hustle and Bustle by Basic Gray. And what's funny is I sent out the the letter about this one, and I totally told everyone it was the wrong designer who made the fabric, and I was like, oh, well, don't know how to fix that, so sorry.
Well,
But
we're
it was
almost a year
really,
later and I don't even remember, so it's
oh, that's
okay.
good. It was basic gray. So anyway, this one was fun. I did a lot of cutting for this one because these required, I think, 9-inch squares, which is
Mhm.
not a standard cut, obviously. And so I had to cut 9-inch squares for everybody. There was a bazillion of them. And I still have a bunch of 9-inch squares of Christmas fabric. So, that was kind of fun. So
I
yeah,
mean, if those end up in a Christmas box this year, I would not be upset. I actually did that quilt top. I want to quilt it before Christmas gets here, so thank you for reminding me. I
oh yeah,
made
good one.
that. I made that in an afternoon. It was a super quick sew, and I was so tickled to see that that fabric choice come in because I had seen some other folks work with the Hustle and Bustle line from Basic Gray. And during that time, I was in transition from our old home to our new home. And so I
Yeah.
was trying to like stay away from all the websites where all the new fabric was because I really couldn't bring it into the house, or I had no place to put it. And so when I got settled here and I saw other people sewing with it, I was like, ooh, I want that. And then your box showed up with some Hustle and Bustle fabric, and I was super tickled. So thank you for
Oh,
that.
that makes me happy. That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so that was like a slew of the projects that I've sent out in my box. Right now, my box is actually closed, and that means that I just have it open to a wait list of people. So if you want to hop on that wait list, go to gingerquilterbox.com and hop on the wait list. It should be right on the homepage. Join the wait list, and I'm going to open for the new year. So that's going to probably be, I don't know if I'll start in December so I can ship January, or I'll start in January and start in February for any new subscribers. The reason I did that is just because I was having the hardest time nailing down how many numbers I needed for every month. And I would always end up with extra. And then on the rare months that I didn't have enough, I was scrambling to get more just because these last minute subscriptions would filter in, and it takes me a couple weeks to get fabric. And so anyway, so I closed it just so I could know how many I have, but I will be opening it again. So if this is like totally your jam, then go to my website, gingerquilterbox.com, and join the wait list. So there's that.
Or you can do, if you're watching live, if you do exclamation GQ in the chat, it'll give you the links to all of the things, so you don't have to remember that. And if you're watching the replay, all of those links will be pinned in the first comment down below, so you don't have to write this down or open it up. We've got that for you technology-wise. So, okay, let's say somebody wants to grab the Ginger Quilter box. Talk to us about what the price point is for that.
Yeah. So starting when it opens back up in January, February, it's going to be $65. That includes shipping. So
Unless you're
shipping,
overseas.
unless you're overseas. That's a good point. Thank you. So if you're in the US, that is included in the shipping. And if you are overseas, I'm going to take that into account, that like $10 of your box is going to shipping already. So I'm not going to just like tack on the rest. Anyway.
That's fair.
But so that what comes in a box is going to be fabric and a pattern, and those go together and create a project. So they're the corresponding fabrics for the pattern. You're going to get a treat, which changes every month according to the theme. So I'm trying to think. For Halloween, I sent out like black and orange fortune cookies. That was kind of fun. And then for summer, I send out red, white, and blue lollipops. They're always fun to find and fun to get. So you get a treat, a notion that is for the project, and a gift. So that gift can be anything from a chapstick to a scrunchie to a pair of kitty ear headband for Halloween, or it could be anything. It's whatever the heck I want that I think is fun, and I send you, and I hope people like them. So that's what comes in the Ginger Quilter box for the 65.
I think that's really cool. I'm looking to see if there are any other questions. Ian, the off-kilter crafter, Ian was just asking if you are the OG GQ. I think he's just trying to be silly.
I totally am.
So I think that was the question about price. So I think we talked a little bit about this beforehand. Let's say somebody has the money in their wallet and they want Ginger Quilter now. They don't want to wait until December or January when you open that back up. What can they do to kind of scratch that itch?
So in my store on my website, I do have a few of my past boxes listed. I actually need to update those. So what is listed there is available right now, but I also have a few more that I need to throw on there. So if you saw one today that you're like, I need that, I need it right now, send me a message and I might have scraps. Like I said to Becca, like I have so many scraps in my life from all these boxes. So if you are dying for a pattern, I definitely have patterns from almost all of these, but and I could probably put a kit together for you. So, but there are some listed on my website. And if there's one that you saw that you are dying to have, send me a message and I might have it. So.
Awesome. Awesome. Teresa Louise wants to know, on average, how big are the projects?
That's a good question. It varies quite a bit. So some of these are going to be quilt tops. And like this Halloween one that I showed you that Becca's going to work on today, that project included a Halloween quilt. And that is, the finished quilt is like 40 by 55 or something like that. It's a lap quilt. So you might get lap quilts and you might get wall hangings. You might get table toppers, table runners, pillows. So it really just depends. It's never smaller than like a pillow. I guess every once in a while I send a bag, but I don't send too many of those. I try to only do 1 or 2 a year of bags. But so yeah, nothing really smaller than a pillow.
That's awesome. There's actually a suggestion for you in the chat. Tiffany's Quilting Life said you could sell mystery scrap boxes. I've seen people do
been
that.
on my mind.
See, I will tell you, I personally will do that. I don't use a ton of scraps, but I make a ton of scraps. And so I feel bad throwing them out. So if anything bigger than like an inch, sometimes maybe it's 2 inches, it depends, but I'll pad a flat rate padded envelope just full of whatever it is I'm trying to get out of here. And it can be really tiny or it could be a really good chunk. And I'll sell them for like 20 or 25 bucks and people just, that includes the shipping, but they get them out. It gets it out of here. And I feel like you get a really good deal. So maybe that's something you could look into.
That is a great idea, actually. I'm always afraid that like people will be annoyed that they're not matching scraps, but that's the point, right?
Yep. I never think about what I put in there, and I haven't had anybody complain about a scrap package, and they go super quick. So I would tell you definitely.
I'm sold. I'm going to do it.
Yep. Question for you. Janet Johnson wants to know, what do you know, maybe you don't know off the top of your head, shipping cost for Australia?
Gosh, I don't know. At one point I was shipping to Canada and it was like $25. And I've shipped overseas before, but it was to like military bases. And so I know that the USPS subsidizes those. So I'm not sure, but I would guess maybe 30, I'm guessing. So if we're pretending that like say shipping in the US is 10, so like $10 of the box is usually covered in the shipping, the free shipping that, you know, is in the 65 of the box. And then it would be like an additional 20 to cover to Australia, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. Comment from Sherry. She said she is on your wait list and super excited.
Thanks, Sherry.
Mary wants to know, how many boxes do you send out?
Oh boy. So I got all the way up to like 180 during like at the beginning of this year. And then summer was rough because I think the economy, inflation and the economy is struggling right now. So I think a lot of people were cutting back. And so I dropped down to like 130, which was a little scary. I'll be honest, I was a little scared. But now that we're back into fall, I am back up to 185 or 86 right now. So I am thrilled where I'm at right now.
Okay. Denise Sunquist says, Natalie, is it possible for me to get the September box? I thought I was getting it, but it hasn't come. If you recall, I got the fat quarters by mistake. Should she just email you?
Yeah, Denise, I think I have been emailing you, but I wonder if I misunderstood. Yeah, because I knew that we had that back and forth about the fat quarters. And then anyway, we'll take care of it. I'll email you tonight, Denise.
Okay, sounds good. I think we're caught up with the chat. So do you want to segue into the 12 days of Christmas? I don't know
Yes.
why I did that. That's not a spooky thing, but you're welcome.
Yes, I just got to write down that I'm going to email Denise. Okay.
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 And you're going to sell scraps.
Yes, and sell scraps. That's right. Okay, so the 12 Days of Christmas box is something a little different than I've ever done before. It's not a subscription box, it's just a gift box. So it's a one-time purchase, one-time box, and I am sending it out on November 15th. This is a great gift for yourself or for some other quilter that you love. And what it is I wish I still had my sample box. I gave it to the printer. So it's a bigger box. It's like this big and it unfolds. So it's like a book. And then within the book, unfold it. Within there, you're going to have these little perforated cardboard compartments. And so you're going to punch one out for every day of the 12 days of Christmas. Very similar to like you would for an advent calendar with chocolate in it. But instead of 25 days, you're getting 12. So that's why it's the 12 days of Christmas box, not the advent calendar. So for each one of these, you're going to get a notion or a gift or a little mini project or materials that you might want or need, a little something. Anyway, something special that is going to be in one of these 12 compartments. And so you can open it up, one for every day of the 12 days of Christmas, and enjoy that for yourself or for whoever it is that you gifted it to.
I love that. You open the gift for you and decide if it's going to be a gift for someone else. That's what you're going to do.
That would work. Yeah, you can do it that way. No judgment here.
That's what I have a few advent calendars coming this year, and I'll be doing a Vlogmas series for the month from December 1st to December 25th. And so I'll do a little vlog, a little personal stuff. We'll do a little short video, but at the end, I'll open the advent sections. And last year I did this too, and I was so overwhelmed with so many things that I had giveaways for a couple of months, and it was great.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I know. Sometimes we get really overwhelmed with the amount of stuff that comes in. I can relate. Yeah.
Yep. So Karen Bray wants to know, what is the price for the 12 days of Christmas?
The price is $149.99, and that's going to come with the 12 goodies inside, and it's going to come with a really pretty gift box that is actually, I haven't announced this yet. This is just exclusive for you guys. Well, I mean, you're the first ones to hear it, that the illustrations for this box were done by Citrus and Mint. So if you guys love her, she's a fabric designer for Riley Blake, and I'm blanking on her first name right now, but she has designed 12 Days of Christmas illustrations, and those are going to be on the box. So it's going to be a really pretty gift box, and it's going to just really shine when you open it, whether you're gifting it or keeping it. It's really, really nice. So
that's awesome. I'm just taking note of the next thing. So I just updated the command to add a special little collab that we worked out. So if you sign up for the 12 Days of Christmas and you put the code BECCA in at checkout, Natalie's going to send you a 13th gift. You want to tell them about what that 13th gift is?
Yes, it is a seam roller. So if you have ever been sick of ironing, like I get to, especially when you have little tiny seams, you get a seam roller, and I actually have one here.
Okay.
In the package, so let me pull it out. So this seam roller is going to come to you, and it has this wooden roller, and you're going to roll your seams so that you don't have to go to the iron every time you need to sew a seam. So, or every time you need to press a seam, I should say. So I wouldn't say that this replaces an iron. You're probably not going to get as crisp as an iron, but it is really great when you're just sewing, and you know, you don't want to get up every time. And so this is a really great, helpful tool to use so you don't have to get up and down 1,000 times.
Yep, I've collected multiple of those in my journeys through subscription boxes, and they are handy. I like them. So you use the code BECCA at checkout, you will get one of those to add to your Sewing Notion collection.
Yes. And Becca, I don't know if that link to the Christmas box is on, it's not on my front page of my website. Unfortunately, I did not get that done. So I'm trying to pull it up right now.
I've got the link in the command already. I've already got the
For the
tab.
12 Days of Christmas box?
Yep, we've got the link to your website for Ginger Quilter box,
Don't
your
even try
email.
to tell me that you are not the queen of technology. You are awesome.
Multitask.
Yes, you got
ADHD works really well in this avenue.
We can relate in my family.
I won't even tell you that I got a side chat going on with Tiffany too.
Oh, well, you're the best.
I think that's all the chats that were all the questions that we've got. Although the Crafty Panda said that would be good for FPP. And Susie says,
Definitely.
I love the seam roller. It doesn't stretch your fabric or seam like finger pressing can.
Oh,
That's true.
I hadn't even considered that as a benefit, but that really is true because finger pressing can do that. So
Yep, you got to
there
be
you go.
really careful with that. Yep. I think that's all the. Oh, here's another question from Gia. Will the 12 days be a project?
No. So this one will not be a project. It is mostly just notions, goodies. There might be a little bit of fabric in there. And if there is a project, it's going to be tiny. So I'm still ironing out those details because I'm still waiting to find out how many numbers exactly I'm going to have. But I'm not sending like a sewing like pillow or table runner, table topper, something like that. It's just going to be fun, gifty stuff for you. So
That's awesome. It looks like somebody just said, it looks like Tracy said she's on the wait list. So there, it looks like at the top of the page, there is an order now button, but then down towards the bottom, there is a join the wait list. So if you are trying to buy the box, no, for the 12 days of Christmas box.
that's good.
Yeah, make sure that if you're trying to get and maybe I can get the actual link from the order now and put it in the chat. I would, yeah, try this. I think this will help you. I've got to get to the chat.
I did not mean to make you join a wait list. Oh, you're right. I do see that join the wait list thing. Let me see. I might be able to fix that now.
Okay.
Well, I won't like wait for you guys don't have to wait for me on air to do that, but I'll do that right now after we sign off. So.
All right. Oh, Shauna said she is on the wait list for the monthly box. Jewel said,
Awesome.
Hello, what are we talking about? We're talking about Natalie's monthly boxes and her 12 Days of Christmas Advent Calendar, which is going to close for sign up tomorrow.
Yep, tomorrow night at midnight. I am closing it down, the signups, not closing it down all the way, but just because I got to figure out what products are going to go in. I got to figure out who's going to, how many to buy. I've got lots of ideas, but I can't firm up any of those until I know how many to buy for. So
that's actually a really good point. So one of the things, and this is going to, I'm sure I will get this question multiple times over the next couple of months and very heavily in the Vlogmas series, but just to kind of share with you guys a little bit, Natalie just alluded to this. Not everything is always cemented in for those Advent boxes. The reason why they need you to pay for them and order them months in advance is because they need time to plot it out and order the stuff and get it in and then cut it up. So that's why she's closing the signups now. That's why Monique has closed her signups already. I think she sold out, but she put a limit on the number that she was going to do. That's why all these places are doing signups so early. And unfortunately, by the time December comes around, that ship has sailed. So if this is something that you last year watched anybody open an Advent calendar and you thought to yourself, I wished I would have got it, now is the time to act. There's a few of them out there. Natalie's is one of them. I actually think, Natalie, yours is probably one of the most affordable. So if you're looking at getting into one, I strongly encourage you to act quickly because this will leave soon.
yes. Exactly. This is your one and only chance to hop in. So,
Yep.
And I, just so you know, I'm updating this waitlist link. I just didn't get all that fixed when I transferred over this information. So that join the waitlist link should now say order now and have the correct link. So we're good to go.
Natalie, it was a lot of fun hanging out with you. Thank you so much for sharing the projects that, I haven't finished. I appreciate that.
Oh,
I have one more final thing for you. If folks want to catch up with you and find out what you're up to, what is the best way for them to, what's your favorite social media? Where can they find you?
Instagram is the best way to get a hold of me and to see what I'm up to. So I'm Ginger_Quilter on Instagram. I am on Facebook, but I'm not as active there. So if you want to know up to date all the time, check out Instagram.
Okay. Well,
Thank
it's
you
been
so
a
much,
blast. Thank
Becca.
you so much for joining me.
It was so fun
Absolutely.
to come on.
I'm so glad. No problem. Thank you for,
Awesome.
I'm tongue-tied. I'm so tongue-tied.
No worries.
Thanks for
Happens to me all
being
the
here.
time. Thanks again.
Oh, yeah, I'll
Thanks,
talk to you
guys.
later.
We'll see you later.
Bye, Natalie. So Natalie's going to leave us tonight. She's going to hit the end button on her Zoom, and it's out. There it goes. It's down to just me. So I will probably have a special guest or two join me through Zoom as the night progresses. We've still got a little over an hour. I'm going to probably work on a little bit of sewing. As I mentioned, I've got some of my pieces cut for the September project that was in the Ginger Quilter box. I figured I could work on making some of those pumpkins, and even if I don't turn them into a pumpkin quilt, I thought they make really cute table runners or placemats. And so I'm just going to try to make the blocks, and then I'll go from there. So I am going to get tech switched over just a second. Bear with me, please. And then we'll just get going here. So I'm going to toss this over, and I am going to load this and go here. Do you like how I narrate while I'm typing and moving around on the computer and you have no idea what I'm doing? I got it. And then I'm going to do one more thing. And da 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 da. I'm inviting a couple of friends into the chat. There. Now, maybe we'll have a few of our lovely friends joining us. By the way, speaking of friends, this is a great time to give them a plug. So all the folks that have their name in that big, bold blue font with a little wrench off to the right of them, those are my moderators, and they are here to help answer questions and just to help facilitate chat, make sure that questions get in front of me. They all have YouTube channels of their own: Teresa Louise, the Sewing Channel, Tiffany's Quilting Life, and Off Kilter Crafter Ian, and they would love it if you would take a second to check out their channel, and if you like what you see, give them a little subscribe, watch some of their videos. You can find the links to each of their YouTube channels by doing !friends in the chat, and then that'll give you a command for each one of them, and from there you can go over to their YouTube channel. So while I'm waiting to see who joins us, if any of them do, we will switch over to my normal setup where we're going to start sewing. So give me 1 second, we're gonna get this set up. Here we go. So I'm gonna move this out of the way and get this out of the way over here. And what I'm gonna do now is just start sewing some pumpkins together, but before I do, I'm going to finish cutting. Well, I don't have all of these cut. So these are this is the fabric that we got in the Ginger Quilter box. She gave us a bunch of 5-inch by 10-inch pieces, and then we had to subcut these into some squares. And I didn't cut them all, so I want to cut them now so that I don't have to think about it later. So I'm going to finish cutting these 5 by 10-inch strips. I'll finish cutting these down. I'll put them into my pile, and I will start sewing some pumpkins together. And by the way, check this out. I got from my friends over at Martelli Notions a 60mm rotary cutter, and I am so excited to have this because I have only been using ever a 45mm rotary cutter, and this is actually kind of a game changer. I gotta thank Tracy for telling me to do this. So when I first started sewing, I remember the quilting class that I took. I was self-taught, but I did decide to take a quilting class from my local quilt shop, and they sent out a list of supplies, and one of them was, be careful, Becca, they bend. Got it. One of the things that they said you needed to get was a rotary cutter. And I remember a lady walked in with a 60 millimeter Olfa ergonomic rotary cutter, you know, the kind that has the handle that you squeeze. And she took it up to the instructor of the class, and the instructor said, no, 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 that's way too big. You don't need that. And she bought it from them, and they told her to exchange it for the 45 millimeter. And so I've always been taught to do everything with the 45 millimeter blade, always use that one. But now that I'm using this, I'm like, I don't understand why they told her to return the 60 millimeter for the 45. This is like just, it's amazing. It does feel a little bit different. I will give you that, but it goes through so many layers. So I'm just going to set these over on my table back here and then cut these. Rolene says the 60 millimeter rotary cutter is a game changer. I love mine. It is. It goes through so much with no extra effort. It's because the blade sits up a little bit higher, I think, because it's bigger. Katie says, well, I have officially finished Christmas shopping for me. I just ordered the Advent box. Guess I should start shopping for others now. Oh, that's funny. It's Jewel said, it's okay to keep shopping for yourself. Brenda said, I bought a 60 and I never turned back. You know what? I might be too. Oh, it is waiting on me. I've got a couple. I'm sorry, I've got my head down in the clouds. Let's get Tiffany and Teresa in here, and then I'll just hang out with my friends. Hey, ladies. They're connecting to audio.
Hi, Becca.
Hi, ladies. How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
Hello.
Good. Hey, Tiff. Long time no talk.
Yeah.
Hi,
Hey,
Tiffany.
Teresa.
Hey,
Long
Teresa.
time no be on YouTube. You were on earlier. I watched you earlier.
You do?
I was lurking. I was lurking in the background for a little bit.
Yeah, I popped on to say hi to people.
You both
I
had
think
live
I
streams
have.
today. So what are you guys doing this evening? Tiffany, you're in your bedroom. So Teresa, I see you in your sewing room. What are you guys doing tonight?
I'm sitting in bed because I can.
You're a nut. What about you, Teresa? What are you doing?
I'm going to do a bow tie quilt
Sitting in bed.
with my scraps left over from a different quilt. And
Okay.
yeah, I'm just figuring out what size bow ties I want.
I
So I'm
only
cutting.
stuck around for a couple of minutes. You want to show people what a bow tie is?
Yeah, sure. Since I got one made, I'll show you. But it's in yellow, so I don't know if you can see it very well.
We can.
Ready.
It's just an easy 4-patch, and I actually never made a bow tie quilt before.
Oh.
I know, right? Amazing. I thought that would be a lot of fun to make one of these out of all your scraps. So,
Indeed.
yeah. But then you gotta press all your fabric. You gotta cut all your fabric, and you know. And you know how much I love scraps.
I do. Are either of you going to reach out to Natalie and ask for a box of scraps?
No,
I don't know.
Becca, I don't like scraps.
I know, I'm teasing.
I'm the only one here that does.
I know.
I was
You get
thinking I should send this to Tiffany and have her make me a bow tie quilt. Or find somebody in the chat, volunteer.
I'm sure you probably have several people that would. Quilting Compound said that's a good idea. Send them to
Yeah.
Tiffany. Make her do it.
No, she's got so much to do already.
I know.
I know I am doing a lot. And now I have an AccuQuilt Baby Go. So now I could start cutting pieces for other things.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Are you, I saw that opening. Are you super excited to have that?
Yeah. I'm super excited because I'm going to start throwing scraps in the darn thing and all of the blocks and just make piles for everything that I'm cutting out to make whatever quilts with.
I remember when I first started watching your channel and you were working on those 25 patch blocks, you showed the way you organize your scraps is you like to cut everything down to 2.5-inch blocks and you sort them. So
Yep.
that would actually make it really easy.
Yep. That's what I'm going to do. Cut out blocks and sort them into little bins that are specifically for the cuts I make from the scraps from the blocks with the AccuQuilt die. And that's what I'm going to do. They're going to get their own bins.
There you go. There you go. I've got to fold this so I can cut it. Oh my goodness. So what do you guys got planned this weekend?
This right here, sitting right here.
I try not to plan anything because I might be doing just what Tiffany's doing.
Yeah. Oh, uh-oh. We got a party. We got a party. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Don't tell me
Oh
it's
my
Ian.
goodness.
No, it's Ian.
Only Ian.
He's muted, which is making it even better.
I wasn't expecting this invite. I was already turned in for the evening.
I'm sorry. I am just sorry. I'm trying to say I have no idea. Tracy, I'll have to help you later. I'm going to turn on focus mode over here. Sorry. Sorry. Anyway, Ian, talk to me about your mug.
My mug? What about it?
I love it. I don't even know what to say. Like I'm searching for words here. Sorry. I love your mug.
You are
I had
a
to do-
nut. You're a
I
nut.
had to do something crazy because I got this invitation out of nowhere and I wasn't expecting this. So I was like, I got to do something crazy.
Well, in my defense, or in their defense, he's not joking. Like I was literally like, when I was talking to Natalie, I was like, I knew she was going to end half an hour, 45 minutes in. And I knew I was just going to transition to working on a project, but I was like, I'm on Zoom. It seems silly to not have other people here with me since I started this off as just a chat. I could continue the conversation with other people. It'd be a little weird to transition, but if I throw the link out there, all they got to do is hop into the Zoom and it's ready to go, right? Like, so I just spammed all of them a link. I was like, hey, you want to hop on? And here they came because they're wonderful people and I love them very much. And here they are. And I think Ian just likes the spotlight, but that's okay.
I mean, maybe a little bit. I mean, Myra Rose. Who could get better than that?
Can you see through those glass, whatever you have on your eyes? Can you see through that?
Yeah, I can see perfectly fine. I see everything. In fact, I saw a comment a moment ago of somebody saying, I want to be Ian when I grow up.
Okay,
That's so
and I have
funny.
another question for you, Ian. Were you like this in school? Like, were you the clown, class clown?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I was never voted class clown, but I was always a clown.
I was. I was the class clown.
Were
You
you?
were.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I could see that.
And when I got to high school, I dressed only in 1970s muumuus, so you can only see where that went.
You dressed in 1970 muumuus?
Yep, that's how I went to school, with Doc Martens and 1970s muumuus.
That's hilarious. Okay, it's hot here in Texas. Our temperatures have gone back up again, and I need to get rid of all of this because it is way too hot. That's better.
Tracy says she's in her jam, so she won't be joining. But Tracy, do you see what I'm wearing? Pajamas.
Did you see what
in
Ian
bed.
was wearing? That's awesome.
I have fabric all over the floor in my bedroom from my unboxing, as well as fabric all over my desk from my filming. I didn't want to sit in there.
Speaking of your unboxing, somebody asked you, did you get an
An
AccuQuilt?
AccuQuilt, yes, I got
sorry.
the AccuQuilt Baby Go and a 6-inch cube thing that has like 8 dies in it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that's what I got on my unboxing today. It was wonderful, and I will be using it for the scraps that came in the other boxes in my unboxing.
That's awesome. Tracy's asking me, did I get my text? Did you get my text about not being able to order the Christmas box? I did, and I'm going to have to help you with that off camera. I'm not going to be able to troubleshoot that right now. Sorry, Tracy. But I'll talk to you as soon as the live's over. I'll help you. Or you can email the Ginger Quilter or reach out to her through Instagram, and she'll help you right now.
There you go.
I need to make a public apology to Patty. I made her snort her coffee. I apologize for that.
That's funny.
So, Ian, should we tell people about what's happened this week with our plans to take over the world? I don't know if we should announce that yet or not. Are you ready?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. The big announcement. Okay,
You
I'll tell them. No, you tell them. No, you tell them.
You tell them.
Okay, one of you.
Big.
Or I will. Because I know
What?
too.
She said, okay, one of you.
One of you tell them. The big announcement is that I will be visiting for Thanksgiving, and we will be in the same room sewing our puzzle mystery quilts together.
Mm-hmm.
Soon thereafter, we haven't quite figured out which day, but we are going to figure out a day, and we're going to broadcast that on our channels and put together the final quilt. So it is going to be a long stream, and we are super excited to have everybody join us for that when we put our puzzle mystery quilts together. So sweet. So that means I'm flying out to see Becca, and it's going to be, I mean, look how much fun we're already having, and we're not even in the same room yet.
We tried to get Tiffany we tried to convince her to drive, and then we were going to try to convince Teresa, but we figured with it being Thanksgiving, probably wasn't going to happen. But doors open if you want to come, girls.
Right?
Well, Teresa could just drive down and get me and
There you
drag
go.
me out of the house, kicking and screaming, and then we can go on a road trip.
Sweet.
She's got the truck and the trailer, so it would be okay. She could just pull the trailer behind.
Tiffany, you and I would be pulling over all the time so we could go take a nap.
Yeah. And there's a trailer right behind it.
I know. It'd be easy. We'd
The
have
side
to
of the road.
leave like a month ahead of time to get there by Thanksgiving.
Well, you got time. You could start driving now.
Unless we take Brandon with us and let him drive.
I will be in the back of the trailer sleeping.
Yeah,
While
That's
it bounces all over the road.
that's what I used to do in the motorhome. He'd be driving and I'd go take a nap.
That's awesome. I don't know if I'm going to get any sewing done, and I think that's okay. I'd rather sit here and giggle and talk with you guys. So that's totally fine with me. Because Patty said, Ian, you are forgiven. It just took me by surprise. I love your humor.
I'm glad. I'm glad somebody enjoys my humor because I make myself laugh, and that's half the battle.
I always say if I can either have people laugh at me or laugh with me. So I'll laugh and then they're technically laughing with me even though they might be laughing at me, but who cares?
Yep. It is true.
You should tell us about the quilt behind you and that lovely ribbon that's hanging from it.
Actually, that's a great idea. Let me make you nice and big, Ian. Hold on. Spotlight for everyone. Tell us about the quilt.
I feel like I've talked about this so many times. I'm like scared I'm spamming people with it, but
You're not.
Okay, all right.
It's beautiful though.
It is beautiful. I love this quilt so much, and I'm so excited that it won a blue ribbon in the North Texas Quilt Festival. I was shocked, but pleasantly surprised. My quilter did such an amazing job. Please, 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 if you're interested in looking for a quilter to quilt for you, please give a look over at the Very Thoughtful Quilter. I'll put her link here in just a moment if that's okay with Becca. But she does amazing job with quilts, and I would not have this blue ribbon without her amazing work. But this quilt won first place in the North Texas Quilt Festival, and it has just got accepted into the name of the show is escaping me. What is it, ladies?
Oh, Sacramento.
The International Quilt Fest. Is that what it was again? Because I was going to enter it too.
It's the Santa Clara one, and it's the Pacific International Quilt Festival, I think. Yeah. I think that's it.
Yeah.
The Pacific International Quilt Festival. It has gotten accepted into the show, and we'll be flying out to Santa Clara, California. Thank you, Teresa. I appreciate that. So I'm excited and also somewhat nervous because this is the first time I've ever shipped a quilt. So this month's blog post, in fact, from Cotton Cuts is going to come out from me, is me talking about my journey on now that this one won, what's next, and where do I take this quilt next, and also even about like the nervousness that I have of sending this quilt out to other places.
Mm-hmm. I remember that's the charm, not charm. That's what we call it unofficially, but officially it's got a different name. I think actually next time you enter it, you should just change the label and change the name, and there you go. But this was the result of the Charm Pack Challenge that we did. Gosh, I think it was back in March. I had gotten several creators on a Zoom call, and I challenged everybody to make something with up to 2 yards and 1 charm pack of fabric. And so Ian, in his endeavor to find a charm pack, he decided he was going to work with Tula Pink fabric. And so he's looking online, and he finds a website, he finds a store, and it says charm pack. It said charm pack. And what showed up was a layer cake. So technically, he followed the rules, but didn't follow the rules. So we call it the charm, not charm quilt. But that's the quilt top that he made. And I remember, I don't know if it's probably not even worth it, but Ian, I feel like I'm telling the story for you. This is a really good example of just doing your best, even when you think it's not that great. There are mistakes in that quilt that Ian saw, he knew about, he did his best even in spite of the mistakes that had happened, but even in spite of that quilt still won a blue ribbon.
Yeah, I actually did a blog post over on the Cotton Cuts blog. It's a continuation now of that one because I talked about my journey with this quilt. This was going to be a quote unquote throwaway quilt. We all make those quilts that we're not excited about, or we don't love, or we see all the mistakes and we just think, okay, I'm going to give it to a loved one for a birthday gift, a Christmas gift, something like that. It was just going to be a quilt that I was like, meh, okay, and move it along. And then it turned into such a beautiful prize-winning quilt, and I never expected that. And I kick myself that I didn't do as good of a job as I could have. There could have been so much more potential in this that I didn't do, but it still was enough to at least pull a ribbon for the competition that it was in. Is it going to win more ribbons? It may, and that's great. But if it doesn't, I'm okay with that, and I'm happy with it the way it is.
Yep. And I think you have inspired me, and Tiffany has, and Teresa's had quilts and shows too, and you guys have all actually won ribbons, but you guys have all inspired me to, in 2023, I am going to enter at least one quilt into a quilt show. And the reason for that is because, Ian, I saw your whole journey with that quilt. I saw you think of what you were going to do. I saw you pull the fabric. I saw you hit the mistakes. I saw you overcome the mistakes. I saw you send it to the long armor, who was super excited to quilt your quilt regardless of what those mistakes were. And then I saw you teeter about whether or not you were going to actually enter it. And I remember the conversation that I remember what you said, because you said it multiple times, but one of the things that you kept saying is, I'm going to enter it not because I think my quilt is worthy of being first place, but because I want to showcase the talent of my long armor. And that was just, to me, it was such a selfless thing to do. You weren't doing this for you. You were doing this to help your long armor grow her business.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I'm so glad that I did, because she had several quilts in that show, and I was just so excited. I was more excited that she was able to kind of get a win. This is a win for her as well. It's not just a win for me. It is a win for her. And it is just incredibly, the time and effort she put into it is so deserving of this ribbon. And I'm so glad that she got a blue ribbon as well, basically.
Yep. There's a comment in there. They just want to know, is that quilted edge to edge or custom?
It is a custom. It is quilted on computerized quilting. So each one of these triangles, she went in and found the parameters of each triangle and dropped in the digital print, and she did a lot. She did a lot of work on this, but it is done digitally, and then all the things.
I just wanted to mention that, because I don't think everybody fully understood that story, and I felt that really spoke volumes for you and your motive, and I thought that really needed to be commended. So kudos to you, Ian.
Thank you.
And Tracy from the Sewing Channel is here. She's on mute, so we're going to ask her to unmute. She slipped in while we were talking about.
Press mute on the screen, on the unmute button.
There you go.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Hi, Tracy.
Yes.
Hi, guys. Yeah,
Hi.
I was listening to the echo again because I always forget to turn off the screen. And so what's up, guys? Oh, don't mind me. Oh, my word. I'm like,
every time I
comfy.
laugh, my laptop's moving on my lap too. You're good.
Oh my gosh, it is moving. Oh,
She didn't even see that, Tiff. Thanks.
oh my gosh. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna set right here. Okay.
It's totally fine. You're okay.
All right. I know I'm sitting on the couch and just chilling.
You got, I know that scrum quilt.
Oh, I love this quilt. This is my favorite.
You want to hold it up a little bit for people to see?
My absolute favorite. This is the best quilt ever. It's so nuggy.
You want to tell them about what that quilt is?
I think
I
I've
think you have
talked
a
about this
video or
quilt
two
so
or
much.
Well, then I'll do it for you. That is Tracy's scrum quilt. So she has several videos on her channel over at the Sewing Channel. If you do !TSC in the chat, it'll give you a link to her YouTube channel. But she has several videos on scrum piecing, which she calls, her tagline is, it is crumb piecing with a purpose. You pick out a challenge or a motif that you want to draw out, and you work only with the scraps from that, and then you pull them out and you just make scrap improv blocks, and she's surrounded those with lots of negative space that she's done lovely quilting in.
I'm going to try to fix this again here because I don't want to keep
Okay.
moving that. All right. I want to be able to leave it. And I'm getting a cramp in my foot. I'm like, what in the world? I'm live on TV here and I'm getting a cramp.
We all get them.
Somebody actually said that with all the quilts that you have completed, Tracy, you certainly should have some in quilt shows. And they said one that they thought you needed to enter, and I'm trying to find it. Let's see. It's almost there. The Sewing Channel, you have so many cool quilts that you should enter the Rag Rose quilt. I love that one.
Oh yeah, that's a favorite.
I don't know that one. I need to go watch the video.
It's called called Rose Garden.
Okay.
One wants to know how to find shows to enter a quilt for judging that is actually judged by people who know how to quilt or who know
Oh my
quilts.
gosh. Wait, before we answer this, because I know Ian's got lots of information for this and he'll tell you why in a minute. I just want to say the quilt show that my guild held last week. So there's 2 guilds in the area. Well, now I'm a member of 3 because I joined the Modern Quilt Guild. But there are a couple of guilds in the area that I have joined, and I've been going to the guild meetings. But this one guild, it's almost like there's no I'm trying to figure out how it works because I don't have any of the guild information that explains this is what this event is or this is how we do things. That's not there. So I'm learning it as I go, which is great because it's forcing me to talk to people and get to know them. But I say all of that because the quilt show that we went to and we had last weekend, they said, okay, these are the winning quilts. And they rambled off first place, second place, third place, fourth place, and fifth place. And I was like, okay. And I said something about, they were talking about how next year they want to have the quilts with the ribbons on them for at least an hour before the quilt show ends. And I said, well, why don't you just judge them before they're hung and put the ribbons on when you hang them up? Because that's, Ian, what happened with your quilt show. People were going to the quilt show and the ribbon was already on your quilt when they were showing up. You didn't even know, like it was already awarded.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like,
We had
oh,
that
no,
when
no.
all the shows I've ever been to, the quilts are already have the winner tags hanging on them, the awards.
Except this quilt show, they didn't judge the quilt. You voted. It was a popularity contest. So it wasn't judged by a panel of quilt judges. There were 5 Viewers' Choice Awards. The most votes got first place and the 5th most votes got 5th place. I didn't know that.
We have that here, but there's already judged stuff that gets awarded out, like our local type one. They put all those awards on when the guild judges and then the judges judge and so on. And then Viewers' Choices voted through the whole entire thing. And then those are awarded at the end when the guild has their meeting.
Yeah. I wished I would have known that.
Quilt show I went to this year, it was all picked by the public.
Oh, wow.
There was no judging.
Well, Tiffany, that's how you won, didn't you? You won yours with a popular
I
vote.
won the judges' choice for people viewing. I won that, and then I also won sponsors' choice awards for the sponsors that sponsor the quilt shows. You know, they go around and say, "Oh, that's my favorite," and that's the sponsor. I get the sponsor award for that.
Wow.
And then my other one was the oh my god, the word virtual quilt show. That was all by vote, so you just go in. And
Oh,
look
that
at
was the
pictures
only
and
one I
vote.
knew about. You've won
Yeah.
more, huh? Boy,
Yeah.
you guys are winners.
Hey, I haven't even entered
Just
one,
enter.
Tracy. Tracy, you and I are like this.
I'm
I got no ribbons. I got no awards.
I'm too like nervous that people will criticize, you know?
That's what stopped me
let them.
from entering shows is that fear, because the very first time I entered a show, I entered 2 mini quilts. One of them was my conductive thread interactive quilt, and the judges, it wasn't set up to be interactive at that time when the judges were judging, and so they didn't get it because they couldn't see it in action, and they thought it was very interesting, but they just weren't too sure about it.
Mhm.
And then the other quilt that I entered, it was a good quilt for my first kind of mini quilt, but it wasn't up to standard. And honestly, I feel like in the judges' comments, I feel they were a little too harsh, and it really scared me off from doing and entering more shows. And
Mhm.
my guild kept, every year that went by and this show, the North Texas Quilt Festival, that would happen, they would be like, oh, Ian, you need to put something in. You need to put something in. And I'm like, no, no, no. And my quilter finally threatened me, and she's like, you're going to put it, I will pay for your fee. I will take the judge's notes away, and so you never have to read them. You're going to put a quilt into the show.
No,
And
I'd
I was
want
like,
to see those notes. I'd be like, give me my notes.
I did look at my notes, and actually I thought this time that they were a little like, I don't know what I needed to improve, because obviously this did get first place, but it didn't, there are still their grading system, there were still some points that I could have gotten. It wasn't a perfect score, if you will. So I wanted to know what I could have improved upon, and there wasn't a whole lot of notes letting me know like what I needed to improve and whatnot. So I
Yeah,
know that
so
it
that's
did well,
kind of
but I
nice
don't
to have
know.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, the feedback is nice and whatnot. Somebody asked,
My husband's answering me from the other room. He has no clue what I'm doing in here.
oh my gosh, that's funny.
If he only knew.
So funny.
Somebody asked earlier about and I did answer them, but I'm putting it back into the chat again. This is the list. I literally went onto Google and was like, quilt shows across the country, and this was one of the hits that came up, and so I just started going down the list, and I started looking at the different shows, looking at their requirements, looking at their timelines, looking at their locations, looking at everything, because every show is completely different, and it's very interesting, some of the rules and requirements of what each
Some
show
are really
has.
strict, aren't they?
Very
There's a-
strict.
Yeah,
There are
I
some
couldn't
that are
see. I'm
super
not a
strict.
strict quilter.
I mean, I entered one that said that I had to have my binding hand tacked onto the back. I said,
Oh, you're
"Really?"
kidding me.
I machine bind to the front. I'm sorry. I'm not going to change the way I
Yeah,
bind just
isn't
to
that's the
enter a
best
show.
way? That is the best way.
Yeah.
So can I give you guys like a sneak peek, and all your viewers, Becca? I'm just going to put this right here real quick in the corner. I want to show. Can I show something real quick?
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
Okay. Okay.
Look, it's so pretty.
Oh, we're so proud of you, Tracy. That's so
amazing.
awesome. How does it
That's
feel?
so great.
Well, it feels weird, but I'm okay now. I mean, you wait, I have a video coming out. I think I had a meltdown when I was opening this. So, but I opened it on camera. I know Becca would be so tickled. So Becca, I'm debuting this on your channel right now.
I am.
Is it heavy?
Yeah, it feels like my MacBook, kind of,
Wow.
like that meaty kind of feel, I don't know if you see where it says right here, the sewing channel.
That needs to be in the background of every single one of your videos now.
I'm gonna
I'm so
try.
happy for you.
Yes.
so
congrats.
You know
You
what,
should have had
though?
them put enough talking already.
I'm
on
telling you. You know what?
Oh.
I almost, when I signed up for this, I almost put a yellow heart emoji at the end. I mean, it took it at first, but then I thought, great, it's going to come back with this weird symbol because it's not going to actually take it. So then I erased it off and then just went with the sewing channel. But yeah, so I figured I'd just share that with you guys. It was really exciting today. The UPS guy dropped it off, and I videoed him, and I asked him first, I'm like, can I video you? And he goes, what?
This is from my
And I said,
YouTube
just real quick, I won't video your face. And he goes, okay. And then he handed it off to me, and his whole head's cut off in my video. So it's funny.
Well,
That'd be
the UPS is also delivering some other sewing channel things.
Yeah?
Like merch.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Oh.
yeah.
Come on, be excited about that, girl.
Yeah, what, my merch? Oh yeah, look, there's one of my merch right there. That's a tote bag. Yes, that's going to be, I think I've decided for everybody. Oh, thank you guys. I didn't even see all the chat. Thank you so much. I
Yes,
mean,
they're
you
all
guys just wait. You
congratulating
want
you,
to
Tracy.
see, I have crocodile tears in this video. I ain't even kidding you. I wasn't even sure I was going to post it, but I thought, you know what? It's me and I'm
You
just
have
going to
to.
do it. I'm just
You
going to do
have
it.
to. You
Yeah,
have to.
I mean, how I feel about it, you know, it's
Every
special.
single subscriber is a part of that journey for you.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
they're not going to get to have they don't have the plaque in their room, but seeing that you got it helps them know that subscribe, that click, watching your videos, liking them, commenting on them, all of those little actions, they mean
Mhm.
something and they're what help push you over the edge. So way to go, way to
Yeah,
hustle,
it's
way to work it
fun.
out of
It,
the park.
you know, I think of that, and I know you guys all know too. This is a lot of work, this gig, right? Am I right?
Yeah.
Big time.
I mean,
Yep.
you have to dedicate yourself to it. If you don't purpose it in your heart to do this, then my word, you're going to fail because it's hard work.
Yep. Hey, Teresa, did you hit that 2,000 yet?
I'm getting close.
Yeah, I
But,
heard Teresa was getting close. I heard all you guys are getting up in the numbers. I'm so excited.
Teresa, it looks like you're less than 50 away. We need to get you to 2,000. I keep saying that every week, but the thing
I
is
know.
I feel like everybody that's here and that's watching is already subscribed.
I know. Right. Although,
Well, if you haven't,
when you
then go
posted that
subscribe.
on your community page, I did get a bump. I
Good.
got a bump. Yeah. So,
Teresa-
helping, Becca. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Teresa, I love that bag that you made for Donna.
Oh, thank you.
Loved it. I think I'm going to have to check out your channel with that video because I'd like to make a few of those myself.
They're super easy and a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Once
Yeah,
you
they
get
look
going
easy.
on them, they're quick.
I just love that project. That would be a good in a subscription box or something, you know.
Uh-huh. Oh yeah, it would. Would be awesome.
To the
Oh,
quilting
that gives me an
compound.
idea. Ooh.
The quilting compound wants to know how long. Over 2 years now. I've been on YouTube. It was 2 years in February.
Teresa also asked, what's the award for? It's for hitting 100,000 subscribers on YouTube. They send, whenever you hit 100,000, they send out a congratulations plaque. And Karen mentioned that she saw a YouTuber who at every milestone would create her own mug or project or whatever. And actually,
Oh yeah,
I
that's
have
a good
mine
idea.
from when I hit 5,000 subscribers. I made my own little plaque and did a whole unboxing video. It was hilarious because it has little like LED lights inside of it and stuff.
Oh, I love it.
I pretended when I opened the box, like I pretended that I got a box from YouTube and I opened it and the lights were flashing and people were like, wow, those batteries must have lasted forever.
Oh,
it was cute. It was
you know
fun,
what?
but...
We got to make our own fun, right? Sometimes
yeah.
we just got to.
Yep.
Good for you, Ian. I love that. That's so much fun.
It was funny. It was a good little, because YouTube is a wonderful place. It just, sometimes it can get very, you can get disheartened when you're, and it's not about like how many subscribers you have, but it's also nice to be able to celebrate those milestones.
Mm-hmm. It really is.
Just know though,
most
Tracy,
of the
next plaque isn't till 1 million.
Oh, I know. That's nuts.
Yeah.
Although I do have to say, and I see this happening on your channel too, but it's not just your channel, it's everybody's channel, right? Like I feel like the more subscribers you get, the more YouTube starts to take you seriously and the more they start to prioritize you in the algorithm, and it just kind of starts to turn into like this steamroller thing, right? Like for me, to gain it, I'm at 15,000 subscribers. And by the way, if you guys have not already entered the giveaway form, we will be drawing the winner of the $100 Fat Quarter Shop giveaway tonight, which is the giveaway that I did for 15,000 subscribers. So I just put the link in the chat. Make sure you click on that and enter your name because I'm pulling it live on air tonight. But what I was saying is for me to gain 2,000 subscribers, that takes a bit of hustle. It takes some time to do. And most of the time, unless I have something go viral, it takes months a lot of times, and you rolled over that 100, and next thing I knew you were at like 102, and I don't, maybe you're 103,
Oh,
like
I
it's
don't know.
good. It's good. It's not
Yeah,
a
but I
bad
don't
thing.
see it with my video. I see my analytics and I'm not
Yep.
happy.
Mhm.
Same
I know
here.
you watch more like your watch hours and your view counts and stuff like that. It's not necessarily the subscribers for you.
And can I tell you that this last video I did, I put chapters in
Mm-hmm.
and it totally messed up my whole channel. I don't know what, it totally messed things up in my analytics, putting the chapters, because all of a sudden they skipped so much that, like, the viewers skipped to the different chapters so much that my analytics were like this. It was crazy. And I've never had analytics that look like that before, ever. And
And
I
what
thought
she's
I don't
chapters
do
would be
chapters.
nice.
Well,
Huh?
I
what
kind of
she's
stay away
talking
from all
about.
that.
So for the people that don't know, what she's talking about is when you're looking at the analytics in YouTube Studio for your individual video, you have a graph that shows all, I think I have, oh, I do. I'm sorry. I still have you pinned. No, I don't. Remove spotlight. There we go. Sorry. I had Tracy still big and we were all
Oh
talking
my
around.
gosh.
Don't worry,
Oh,
it's fixed. But what Tracy's talking about is the in YouTube Studio, when you open your video, you can look at analytics about that video, and it helps give you insight as to what's working and what's not working, and you can see over the life of the video who's watching certain points. And usually what you kind of see is it starts strong and then it starts to kind of taper off. And then if there's a spot that somebody really loves, maybe that'll kick back up a little bit. But when you introduce chapters, instead of seeing it go like this down, you'll see kind of like one of
A roller
like
coaster.
ocean waves.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's a roller coaster. So it makes it a little bit harder.
The Fat Quarter Shop does that.
Mm-hmm.
Once their live posts, they'll fix it to where it has chapters. So the
Yep.
people who watch the replay
I don't
can
think
go,
I'm ever going to do that again, Teresa.
yeah.
I won't.
I think I will. I need to be more diligent about doing it. And here's why I'm going to do it. I believe, at least for tutorial videos, maybe not for like a live chat replay because my live chats are just chats, but at least for tutorial videos, sometimes people just need the answer for what they're looking for. They're just trying to get to that piece of information. I know as a viewer of YouTube content, when I'm trying to get my quick answer, I need to get to that spot really quick. And if I
Yeah.
see the thumbnail or I see a chapter, I know I can skip to that. It doesn't mean that I won't watch the whole video. It just means that I need to get that little piece of information really quick first.
Well, it messed up my analytics.
Okay.
I use chapters on the puzzle mystery quilt, so that way if somebody is needing to troubleshoot a specific instruction, they'll be able to quickly jump to that specific instruction. And I list them in the description as well, so that way people know exactly which parts that they need to jump to. And I find those very, very good for, you know, just trying to pinpoint that exact spot that you need to troubleshoot or need help with.
Yeah,
Yep.
that is good for that for sure. But I just felt like, okay, let me see if I can show you guys this without really showing you. Let me see. Okay, let me blow it up here. I mean, it's crazy when you guys see this. I've never had a video that has ever looked like this. That's why I don't know if there's something wrong with YouTube or I'm just not sure.
While you're doing that, there are some questions in the chat for all of us. So why don't we ask some of those, and then I don't know if it's going to pick it up because of the, oh, there it is. No, it's not picking up. It's your screen's too.
There
There
it
you
is.
go.
I see it.
Yep.
Oh, wait,
If she
let me
held it
turn
forward,
the
but-
let me turn the light off of
Well,
it.
no, we saw it when you held it at an angle.
Oh.
When you held it at an angle, yeah.
So
Wait till you see
couple
it. It's crazy.
Yep,
you
it's
got
a
to
roller
turn it at an
coaster.
angle. Yep.
Never again.
What I wonder is if YouTube analyzes those differently.
Can you see it?
I think
No.
I would try to do a little bit of research on that and maybe go through YouTube help or something like that to try to find the answer. But I'm wondering, since you're seeing such a drastic change, if YouTube isn't analyzing it differently than they normally do a regular
Yeah,
video.
something is way different. Usually my line is straight across, you know?
Yeah.
Well, what's we could analyze this all night,
I
but there are a
know.
number of questions in the chat. So let's
Okay.
switch
Oh,
gears
sorry.
and go over to
Alright.
those.
I
That's
know
okay.
it's not all about me, Becca. Sorry.
So the first question is actually from Karen. She wants to know, Tracy, what do you think, in your opinion, made your channel grow?
I did message her back on here. I told her it's what I tell her now. I don't even know. Just it's a heart to sew and teach, really.
Okay.
You have to love what you do, you know, really. You really do. You have to love what you do.
Okay.
How's it back on me again, Becca?
Well, sorry, that was question number one. Here's another one, and this is for the whole panel, so everybody gets a chance to answer.
Good.
Question for all of you. This is from Patty. Yo, Patty G.
Yo,
She said,
Patty
I
G.
heard that YouTube Shorts increases your subscriber count. Do you think this is true? What do you think? Let's start with Ian.
I think that a lot of platforms are trying to copy the success of TikTok, and I think that they are chasing the next trend and the next
You're
whatever.
right.
And
You're right. Ian's right. Yay, Ian.
I think that there are portions of the algorithm that prioritize certain video formats or certain video types here on YouTube over others, and give you more quote unquote points or whatever you want to call it. So I'm not sure that it exactly, I think it puts it in front of more eyes, and that can allow you to get more subscribers that way. But I don't know that it specifically, I don't think there's a one-to-one correlation of shorts gives you more subscribers. I think it puts you in front of more eyes, which in turn gives you more subscribers, but it's not a one-to-one.
Got it. Anybody else want to add to that?
I don't do shorts very often. When I do, they're not quilting related. So it doesn't affect my channel in any way because mine aren't quilting related, because I can't make a quilting related video in 1 minute or less. I just can't.
My one of my highest shorts was 20,000 views, and I only got, because I go straight to the numbers, I don't mess around. 171 subscribers
She does.
from a 20,000 viewed short.
So that's saying right there that really, it doesn't really help that much, if only.
No.
What was that, 3%? I don't even think that's 3% of 20,000 to 1%.
But
I
I will
mean-
say, as a consumer of shorts, I find myself going down short form rabbit holes all the time, regardless of the platform. So while it might not increase my while I might not subscribe to the channel, I will binge on a specific channel. I might watch one of their shorts, and if I like what I see, I might hop over to their channel, look for their shorts, and just watch their shorts, which doesn't really help out the YouTuber other than giving them exposure, because I don't believe they're monetized. Or I have YouTube Premium, so I don't know. I don't believe that they're monetized, and I'm not subscribing. I'm just watching, so I'm just giving them watch hours. So it becomes a thing. What I have tried to start doing is, as a content creator that is trying to grow, I realize how important it is when somebody clicks that subscribe button. So I find if I go to a channel and I see somebody doing shorts, I'll click on, and I like them, and I watch half a dozen and I enjoyed them. My way of tipping them is hitting that subscribe button.
I also have difficulty because I did post like one of my tip videos on a short because I was trying to see, I was just testing to see if this could be a format that I would be interested in. And so I did post that short. Another short, it's actually over on, I posted it originally on Instagram, and then everybody had such a positive response to it that they wanted me to post it onto TikTok. So I do have a TikTok account now, reluctantly, but I can't.
We all reluctantly have a TikTok
Right.
account,
Nope.
Ian.
I don't.
Not here.
I do.
Not
want-
me.
I wanted to post the one that got the most traction, which was actually me wearing this silly yellow wig in that one as well. But it has a sound clip from Schitt's Creek, and because of that, I don't think I can post it. And I haven't even tried because I don't want to get in trouble. I don't
Right.
want to post that on my channel because there's a good chance that it would give me a content strike, and I
Right.
don't want to do that.
It's not
So-
worth it because
No,
I
it's
can tell
not.
Ian, I can tell you, okay, just like, you know, roundabout, like I've got with all my shorts together, about 125,000 views all together, right? They have not paid me 1 penny for any of those. I do not get paid for shorts at all.
And I was
even-
under the impression you get a bonus for making short.
Right. There's been no bonus my way. Look at me talking like this on live YouTube. Sorry. Telling people all my beeswax. No, they don't pay.
I've only
Sorry.
done one short,
Sorry, everybody's quiet now. Sorry.
and
No, I'm keeping up with the chat.
it was not quilt related at all. It was a group of butterflies that I found along the river that I thought was really cool.
Aw, God
And
love.
actually, it didn't get that many views, you know, but
Aw,
that's okay. I just was trying it out.
That's just
Yeah,
like
you would-
mine.
I
Don't
mean-
get views.
Yeah.
yeah.
Or I think
Nobody, I don't know anybody who's getting paid that I've talked to.
No.
I think some of the bigger ones are. So like
I mean, how big do you
I
gotta
just
be? My
seen-
word.
I Justine.
A million or more.
Yeah.
Oh.
I think those people are getting the money from it, but that. And I've said this many times. I think I've even said this here on Becca's channel. I've said this on several different channels. YouTube is not a video platform. It is an advertiser. It is an advertisement that just happens to show video.
Mhm.
So
Yep.
it's not about the videos that are put here on the platform. It's about the advertisements and
Right.
how are they getting delivered to you is the thing.
I don't
Alright,
know.
let-
I don't watch ads anymore because I have premium. I decided long ago I wasn't going to do the other.
I
Let's
would like to
shift
just
gears. Sorry,
say
go ahead,
one more
Tracy.
thing about that, if you
Yeah.
don't mind. I watch quite a few shorts, but I've never subscribed to anybody off of watching a short.
You
Yeah.
can't even tell where to subscribe.
I
They're
have.
Exactly.
goofy.
Well, I
So-
will tell you, Tracy, from your point of view, I know you can look at the video and you can see how many subscribers you gained, but when I subscribe to somebody from watching their shorts, I don't do it on the short, I do it from their channel page. So you're not going to see it as credited from the short. So just kind of keep that in mind. But that being said, let's transition into the next question because there's been a couple forms of this one question. And I think it's a burning question that so many folks, I get asked this all the time. So I'm going to toss it out there. It's a two-parter. The first part is from Jewel Soren. How did you all get brave enough to start a YouTube channel? And on the other side of that is from Anne-Marie Mikowski. She said, I've been thinking about dipping my toes into the YouTube pool. What's the first thing that one should start to do? So how did you get brave enough to do it? And if somebody was going to start a YouTube channel, what is the first thing you think they should do? Go.
Be brave.
How
Don't
do
be
you get
shy? You can't be shy and be on YouTube. It doesn't work that way. You have to be brave enough to sit in front of a camera and tell it.
And
Tell it.
talk to nobody in your sewing room alone.
Well,
And
that's
have
not
to get-
hard.
Don't
You
take
have
it
to get really good
personally.
at talking to yourself.
Be prepared to receive unkind comments.
Mhm.
And
We've
just
all-
don't take it personally. Learn how
Nope.
to delete the
Yeah.
person.
Right.
Read it with
block
one
them.
eye and let it exit out the other.
Yeah.
I
I don't
jumped in
block
because
anybody that's even, if they're even semi-mean, I block them. I don't even care.
I
I like that.
would just tell a person, just get started, just start doing it.
Yep.
When I first
Yeah.
started, my first videos are terrible. You know, you hear that from everybody. And my
Yeah, mine
videos
are.
now aren't perfect by any means, but I used to practice just talking, recording myself without actually putting it on the computer. So I would try to get used to looking at myself and talking to myself, because basically when you're live, that's what you're doing. Or, you know, when you're making a video,
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
talking to yourself, or that's what it feels like.
It
And so
feels
just-
weird, doesn't it? I
It
can
does
think
feel
back to that. It felt so
Yeah.
weird, bizarre.
it feels
But now
so
it doesn't.
incredibly strange
It
talking
doesn't bother
to
me at all now, but
Yeah. Oh, now we're all pros at it. We can talk to nobody. We talk to the air.
And we talk over top of each other too.
Yeah, we do.
yeah, it
Just
feels
re-
so strange to do it and talk to nobody, and to it you have to build up your own energy, because I feed off of other people's energy, and being able, like in a room full of people, I feed off of people's energy and use that
Mhm.
energy to help direct me. And when you're recording on YouTube, you have no one, but you're staring into this camera, and yeah, it's super hard, but you just learn how to kind of turn it on and turn it off, I guess,
Mhm.
to put those videos out. And it's really, it can be quite hard. Katie Jolston was asking, Becca, when you record a video for YouTube, do you record it without stopping, or do you put it together in multiple pieces? I can't do a one-take video. I have tried so many times to do a one-take video, and it just doesn't happen. So that's why you see all of us do those multiple, like there are cuts and fades and whatever else to help cover those up and make it a more smooth transition. But I can almost guarantee you most YouTubers don't take one take.
I will tell you, it is one take from the definition of I sit here and I record the entire thing. Now, it doesn't mean that I said everything correctly the first time through. I have to stop and repeat myself. And if you saw, I won't post it because it's ridiculous, but if you saw the number of times where I went, nope, that was wrong. Oh, nope, that, and it's not that I'm so wrong, it's that I'm saying the wrong thing or I'm getting tongue-tied. And sometimes those mistakes still make it into the final video. I sit and I record in front of the camera as much as I feel like I can. Most of the time it's the entire thing. And then I heavily edit. When I make a recorded video, I edit it down, and what I'm looking for, and I'm giving away my tips and tricks, but what I'm looking for is that I am entertained by that video, and it is keeping my attention when I'm watching the replay. Because if it doesn't keep my attention and it doesn't entertain me, then it's not going to entertain you or anybody else. And then if I'm my worst critic, then I'm going to make sure it passes my standards. Does that make sense?
Good. Yep,
Yep.
that's good.
But I want to add something to those that want to start their channel. I would just suggest this. Keep your hair messy, put on a pair of pajamas, sit in front of a camera, talk to it. If you can't sit and watch yourself looking like crap, then you're not going to be able to sit and watch yourself looking all dressed up. You know? So that's how you know you're meant to be on the camera. If you could make yourself laugh while you're messy hair and in pajamas. Because that's how I've always been, and I've never bothered. I'm not bothered by it.
Believe
So.
it.
So Katie's asking other questions too, but before we ask her question, there are others that asked questions before her. I've got a notepad. I'm copying and pasting them. So let's talk about Quilt Studio. They said, I am still at like 430 subscribers. I wish I could get more. Any suggestions? I think I'll take this from my standpoint, then you guys can fill in. My first thing is, I can't really tell you off the cuff what you can do to get more subscribers until I look at your channel, right? Like, because there could be a number of reasons. It could be that you have absolutely perfect videos, you just haven't been promoting, or maybe you haven't gotten into the algorithm, or maybe you're not uploading consistently, or maybe you need to fix your videos. Tiffany actually is a great example of this. Why don't you talk about your journey to your subscribers, Tiff?
My channel started out with, you see how this picture quality is kind of dull, the lighting is dull. This is pretty much what you saw in the beginning, but fuzzy. And it lasted like that for so long. And I always wondered, why am I only at like 100 subscribers? Why am I only at, I never got any further. And then I got a better cell phone. And this was back then. This was a while back before the cell phones have changed a lot since then. And I got a new cell phone and it ran a little bit better. And then I got a new tablet and it ran a little bit better. And I noticed every time I got a new device or new something, the quality was less blurry and a little bit picking up the light a little bit better. And then it just kept growing from there. And then one day out of the blue, I started filming regular videos as well. I started adding, recorded videos, edit them and post them. And then that's when it started growing more, because it wasn't just me sitting on live stream. Okay, guys, I'm here in my garage in my pajamas. Let's have some fun. And I just sat and chatted with people while I cut fabric and sewed pieces together. But the video quality, you got to, the direction changed. So my channel changed. So it could be, if you're not growing in subscribers, maybe it's your video quality, just like Becca was saying, maybe it's your lighting quality, or maybe you need to watch a little bit more of other people's videos to get a general idea of other things that more people are interested in. So if you keep seeing Donna Jordan's video pop up or Missouri Star videos pop up after you're done watching your own video, that's what other people are wanting to see more. So you need to change those things and be a little bit more, find something that they're doing, but make it your own. You know what I mean?
Yep. I think the biggest thing is just don't be afraid to show your personality. Don't take yourself so personally, or don't take yourself so seriously. It is YouTube, after all. This should be fun. And if it's not fun for you, then why are you doing it? Right? Like, have fun with it. But understand that there is a level of video and audio quality that does have to go into it to make the video something that people want to watch. I know for me, and Tiffany knows this. This is I'm not gossiping or anything. I've had this conversation with Tiffany, and she admits it too. Teresa McBrayer used to tell me, you need to go check out Tiffany. You got to go check out this girl, Tiffany.
And then she'd tell me, go check out Becca. Go check out. That's how me and Becca met in the first place. And we've been best friends since.
I'd click over on Tiffany's channel and I'd load the video and I'd want to watch. But the video picture was grainy. I could hear her, but the video picture was grainy. I couldn't see what she was working on, and it was really glitchy, and I would end up clicking off because it wouldn't keep my interest. So it could be little things like that.
And Becca's originally, she was like calm and undertoned. She wouldn't let it out, and I knew she had it in her. I knew she had those giggles and all that fun, but she was just sitting there on the camera.
I was boring. I was trying to be serious.
Was gonna talk back, but it didn't.
I was trying to be serious. I feel like mine started to take off when I just started being silly, right? Like when not silly, like I'm not being serious, but letting the personality come out. I will tell you my best advice, and I'll open this up to see what you guys say. I think watch the channels that you like. Make note of what they're doing that you like, and make it and do your own version of that. Make note of what they're doing that you don't like, and don't do that. And try things. Throw spaghetti on the wall, and whatever sticks and works for you, that's what you do. And don't be afraid.
Go just off of quilter channels either. Go off of the million subscriber videos. The people who have 1 million, 2 million, 10 million subscribers. What are they doing too? How do they have that? Because quilting can be that too. There's millions of us.
I think one of the first things you need to ask yourself is, what do you want out of it?
Yes.
What do you want?
It's not about the money.
Are you doing it because you want to make money, or are you doing it because you just don't have anything else to do and you want to hang out with people and all you want to do is live?
Yeah. Yep. I mean, there's all different reasons. Like
there's all different reasons. Yeah.
If you're doing this for company, then just realize that that's what you're going to do, and your video platforms will probably be more lives. If you're doing this to make a business and earn an income, then realize that your journey is going to look a little bit different. Just find out what your motive is, but understand, and I want to be really clear about this, in the beginning, you can make money at YouTube, for sure. but it's going to take a long time before you get your investment back. It's going to require a lot of grind, a lot of hard work to get to the point where you're making that money. Don't feel like it's going to happen when you hit 1,000 subscribers, because that's not going to happen.
I
Okay.
once went to YouTube, hosted a creators event in Houston, and I attended that one. And that's actually where I met the Art Sherpa. She has over, I think it's 500,000 subscribers now, if I remember correctly. But we were in this creators event, and they actually brought Bunny Myers in. If anybody knows Graveyard Girl here on YouTube, they brought her in because she's in the Houston area, and so they brought her in to talk to us. And the person interviewing her from YouTube was like, "So, what was the thing that sent you over that 100,000 subscriber mark, or got you all those subscribers?" And she's like, YouTube's kind of like lightning. Like, it's just going to strike when it wants to. And sometimes some people get lucky and other times people don't. So there's she was like truthfully transparent with us. And she was like, "I don't know how the lightning strikes me. It did. And I was able to ride that wave." So I'm paraphrasing terribly on that. So don't take that as her direct quote, but she was very honest with it, saying that it just happens to some people and just doesn't to others. So don't get discouraged as you're going through your journey. And technology has come such a long way. Like, our phones that we have now create such crystal clear, beautiful videos without needing a huge setup. So
That's right.
It's great to get started using just an iPhone to record your videos, because
Or an Android.
or an Android. I know Kathy Zilski from CZ Designs. She still uses her iPhone, and she's I don't even know how many subscribers she has now, but she just uses her iPhone to record videos because it gives
mine
such good
too,
quality.
Ian. Me too. My iPhone for
Tracy
every
does it
video.
too.
All
Absolutely.
over 200 videos with one iPhone.
Yep.
I do
You
want to
don't
say
right
for
here.
those people that already started a channel and want to grow, there also is available, if they didn't know this, the YouTube Content Creator Studio. There are tips and tricks videos in the YouTube Creator Content Video Studio thing under the, is it under the editor, Becca, or is it under the, just under the studio?
No,
Because it always
YouTube
has the tips
Studio.
and tricks on the bottom of my page, and it goes to videos
YouTube
that,
Studio.
yeah, under the YouTube Studio, and you can actually watch those videos for more ideas and ways you can change things in your own studio for filming for, and they give you lots of what cameras you can buy that are cheap, and they have things that you can say to better get your words out and be crisp and clear just by changing how you talk a certain way. They have all sorts of different videos on there. So check those out too.
All right, let's shift gears to Grandma's Quilts and Creations, who has a question that is not YouTube related, because I feel like we beat a dead horse.
Yes.
Would you guys please discuss where you buy your fabric from? Local quilt shop, online, or other?
I don't buy mine. Becca sends it to me.
She's not lying.
She sends me the good stuff, though, the stuff that I can't afford on my own, but it's usually scraps, and I make stuff out of it, though.
Yep, but
That's
sometimes
good.
there's really big pieces in there too, though.
Yep.
Tracy, what about you? I know the answer. I love this one. Go ahead.
What's my answer? I buy all over.
She does.
It
Same
don't
as me,
matter
though.
who it's from. It don't matter if it's pretty, I buy it.
Okay,
But
wait.
I don't
so-
buy cheap stuff that I can see through. Like, you guys have been using fabric. I don't know. Or Donna said she got fabric in a box that her machine's eating it. I don't know.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, yeah, I don't get fabric like that.
No.
I have a funny story, so I love this one. So Tracy hopped on somewhere we were talking, and she showed off this license plate fabric that she had gotten at Walmart. And I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. And I talked about these fabric license plates that I've been collecting for a couple of years and how that would kind of work with it. And then I thought, well, I don't really need any of that. I'm not going to go get it, whatever. And so she texts me while she's at Walmart one night, and she was like, look what I found. And it's the license plate fabric. And I was like, oh, what the heck? Okay, fine, get it. And so she's like, can I FaceTime you? And I was like, sure. Because there were other pieces of fabric there that she wanted to know if I wanted. And I was like, what? This will be fun. So I'm like, in my Walmart, you get fabric that's in an aisle, like one aisle. This woman has a quilt shop inside of her Walmart. There's like aisles, plural. And so she was panning up and down all the aisles. I was like, oh my gosh, there was a ton there. Anyway.
Ours used
Yeah.
to be that way.
And
It's
Becca's
not
like,
anymore.
I want that one. No,
I
left,
did. I was
left.
like,
I want that one. I want
that.
2 of those, 3 of those. I'm like, okay, let's do it.
So they're all back there. They're just off camera. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different prints. And they're all still folded just like they were on the shelf. I don't know what I'm going to do with them yet, but they're there. You're welcome.
You'll have fun with them. But no, I buy fabric all over. I buy from Joann's. I buy from Hobby Lobby. I buy from Walmart. I buy from Michael's. I've bought from Missouri Star. I bought from Fat Quarter Shop. Sometimes it's designer and sometimes it's not. If
Have
it's
you ever
pretty.
used Marshall Dry Goods, Tracy?
Who?
Marshall Dry Goods.
Mm-mm.
Great place to get wholesale
I've
fabric.
never even
for
heard
cheap.
of it.
Yeah. It's is it Batesville, Arkansas? Something like that. That's where they are. And yeah.
Okay.
Okay, Teresa, what about you? Where do you get your fabric from?
I buy it wherever I find it on sale.
Yeah, that's a good rule of thumb. Unless it's so pretty you
Sometimes
can't
that's at a
stand
quilt
it.
store, sometimes that's online, sometimes that's at a yard sale. Yeah. So,
Karen says Tracy goes to Goodwill. She's
Oh
tuned
yeah, I
in.
do too. I do that too.
Goodwill, yes, I go there too.
Oh, I love
What
a
about you, Ian?
bargain.
Where do you get your fabric?
I mostly get my fabric online. I like to mostly buy from smaller quilt stores. So one of my favorites is Crimson Tate. I like to buy from them a lot. I also like to buy locally from Sewed Up Bernina. They're my local Bernina dealers, but also they have their quilt store there that I purchase some from. It really just depends on who has the sale, who has good prices. I buy a lot from Paducah because I can usually find a coupon or get some discounts from them. So I'll buy from Paducah a lot.
Hancock's.
Yep.
I don't have a local quilt store. Otherwise I would go there. I mean, there is one, it's about half an hour, 25 minutes away. I mean, I have gone there a couple times, but I don't know. I can get the same stuff online. Plus I don't know. Yeah.
Yep. And of
I
course,
don't know. Becca, what are you doing?
well, I had to stretch because I was getting a little stiff, so I was giving you a little dancey dance.
Oh,
But we
I
have
thought you were
to
doing
call out-
yoga or something.
You're welcome. We have to call out Lady Fair, who's in the chat and wants to know. So yeah, quilting.
Oh,
Oh yeah, everybody shops there.
We
too.
all know
That's-
about so yeah quilting.
So confession time, I've never bought anything from them.
No, but I know you've stalked their live streams, and that's
I have.
just-
I did.
have-
I used to, but it's an addiction that you have to stop. Like
It is a bit of an addiction. This is
Yeah.
how I know Ian stalks, because I'll be lurking and then I'll hurry up and be like 21. And then I'll get a text and be like, I see you, or he'll say something random. So
I'll be like, she'll put in like her number for an order of the fabric, and I'm like, so you like that purple fabric, did you?
So, all right. I think that's all the
you
questions.
didn't answer
that
where
were in
you
the chat.
shop, Becca.
Oh, I guess I didn't. So, honestly, I occasionally will lurk on the So Yeah channel, and I'll pick something up once in a while if it strikes me. But other than that, I I don't feel like I don't feel like I do anything like there's one place that I always go to. I do a lot of Etsy shopping. I go to a lot of small mom and pop locally owned quilt shops on Etsy or Fat Quarter Shop. The small locally owned, like the small quilt shops that are on Etsy, I feel like don't run out of, if I'm looking for a very specific designer print, they're more likely to have it than Fat Quarter Shop or Missouri Star because they have done long sold out of that, right? So it's not that they have better prices, whatever. It's just that they're likely to still have that in stock. And I can search the marketplace and it's going to hit like 500 or 1,000 different stores and I can pick the one that has the price and the best shipping for me. But when I don't hit Etsy, it's usually Fat Quarter Shop or Missouri Star if I'm doing it online. I don't buy a lot of fabric in person anymore. And I never thought I would be the person that says that because I used to want to see the colors in person and touch it and feel it. But now I've just kind of gotten to the point where I understand a little bit better that the colors on the screen are going to look a certain kind of way. And I buy online. What about you? Any of you find that changed in the past couple of years?
All online.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have. I have Hobby Lobby only and Walmart in person, but I've seen everything that they have there, and they change once a year season. They don't change in the middle of the season, so it's always the same thing. And Hobby Lobby is the same. They keep putting it on sale because it's always the same thing.
Right.
You know? They haven't changed it out, so it always ends up purchases online.
Well, they probably have the new Christmas stuff out right now.
Yeah, it's coming out in some places.
I definitely have gotten better over the past couple of years predicting what the colors are going, like Becca, you talked about like needing to see and feel the fabric. I've definitely gotten better over the past couple of years at kind of predicting, because what you see on the screen hardly ever is exactly what it looks like in life. And I feel like I've somehow calibrated to where I understand what it looks like. And a good example of this is I have some Tula Pink fabric and I was trying to match a zipper to it. And it was actually I had the physical fabric, but I didn't have the zipper. The zipper is what I was trying to buy online. And I was looking and I found one that I thought was pretty close. And I was like, oh, I'm really nervous because this seems to be a really specific shade of, kind of that pinkish color that I'm looking for. And I'm like, I don't know if this is going to work out, but I went ahead and bought it. And sure enough, it is almost an exact match. And
wow, you got lucky.
It works out sometimes.
Yeah.
Karen Brunette said, I need fabric education. I have no local shops, even Joann's is far away. How do I know what is good stuff? Here's my answer. If it goes through your machine, it's fine. Like, I'm not going to lie. It's not that I am a designer snob. I think I explained this to somebody before and I don't remember where I said it, but this summarizes it really well. I like certain fabrics and I have learned that those colors and those lines tend to be designers with Moda, Riley Blake, whatever. But it doesn't mean that the only fabric on my shelf is designer quality, high-end Moda fabrics. I've got Walmart fabric up here too. So it's just,
I can vouch for that.
She can vouch for that. It's really whatever I like. I just happen to look at fabric so much that I am familiar with some of the designers. I will tell you, and this is honest to God truth, when I made my very first quilt, I was making it for my husband's ex-wife. She wanted an autism quilt because my husband and her son is autistic. So I went to Joann's and I did not want to spend a lot of money on this quilt because quilting was expensive and I knew I needed to make a quilt and I had no idea what a quilt even was. It was really more of a blanket and it was poorly made at that. But I went into Joann's and I knew I needed a red, a yellow, a blue, and a green for what I wanted to do. So I just kept going for the lower price, the lower price, the lower price. And I thought I was doing good. And I took it home and I worked with it and I made the quilt and it functioned. it turned into a blanket. It covered her up. It did what it needed to do. But now looking back on it, and you all know what I'm talking about, it was that fabric that you could hold up and you could see through, right?
And that's
So
if it was at Joann's, it was Quilter's Select.
no,
That's
it was the super, super cheap stuff. So
Oh.
like not
the
even
stuff
like
at
good
Dollar
cotton.
Tree.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
my Dollar Tree has good fabric actually. I've
Really?
used it quite a few times. It doesn't even shred as bad as you would think it would, like some fabrics have. It's
Wow.
surprising. I think they all carry a different kind, probably.
Yeah, because the one YouTuber was holding up fat quarters from Dollar Tree, and I'm like, my Dollar Tree don't have no stack of fat
Well,
quarters.
ours don't sell fat quarters. It sells fabric rolls.
I
Well-
will say my two tips, if you were to actually I only have one. It's just how it feels, and well, no, two, how it feels and how it looks. So I'm
my
looking
God,
when I'm
that's
touching the fabric, I'm looking to see if it feels like a good quality fabric. I don't want it to feel really, really, really thin. I don't want to be able to see through it. And then if it's like a screen printed, not batik, if it's like a screen print, I'm looking to make sure that the color saturation's good and that the edges of the lines are nice and crisp. That's what I'm looking for.
Mm.
And you can get that at Walmart. You can
Yep.
get that at Moda. You can get that on So Yeah. You can get that anywhere.
Can I
but you're
ask
not always gonna
the
see it.
panel? I have a
Yeah.
question for the panel.
Sure.
Have you ever been working with designer fabric, you guys? I mean, I'm talking you bought some designer fabric, if you've been told it was good, shreds absolutely terribly, and it's horrible to work with.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm not the only one. I've gotten
All
fabric like
fabric
that. And
shreds.
well, I mean, more so kind of like just like stringy or something. I don't know.
Like
Yep.
the constant, you barely touch the edge and like 10 strands
Right.
fall off. as
Yeah,
going.
I don't understand
Yep.
that.
My
Yep.
my favorite quilt that I've worked on from Cotton Cuts. It was it was Name of the Rose, and the fabric was from Moda, Juicy Juice. Juicy Juice does Moda fabric. He uses Moda, I think, right?
I don't think so. I think
No, it's not Moda.
Andover.
Andover, that's it. It's Andover, excuse me. I don't know what it was, and it seems to only be that collection. It shreds really, really easily, and I actually have gotten a couple of holes in my quilt
Mhm.
top from this fabric starting to separate.
I've quilted 2 of those Name of the Rose quilts now on the long arm jobs, and if you look at the back of them, they're just shredded like crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know what's
I don't
going on. And
understand that. And you pay
it
good
seems to
money
be-
for those.
it seems to be just that collection, though. It's not like some of the other lines that have come out since then. They're perfectly fine, and so I just wonder if the supply that they were getting at the factory was getting at that time was just like different, or I don't even know. But it's weird.
Mhm. Yeah.
Ooh, there's another good question. One Love says, "Do you pre-wash your fabric?"
No, it's a waste of time.
Nope.
There's
There's
getting
only
washed
one.
when it's quilted.
There is one stack of fabric that I have from Cherrywood Fabrics that was hand dyed by Cherrywood. It was extremely expensive, and that one I will probably pre-wash before I use, but I don't pre-wash anything else. And I actually did in my Monica quilt vlog, if you want to go back and watch that video, I was worried because everybody talks about how batiks bleed. I've never had a problem with that, but everybody talks about that. And everybody talks about how red fabric bleeds. I've never had a problem with that, but I wanted to test that. So I took a red and a cream batik that I was going to be putting in the quilt, made a strip set, tossed it in the wash, put it in the dryer, and checked for bleeding. There was no bleeding. So I don't pre-wash.
And even if you think there's color catchers.
Color
well,
catchers are
yeah.
amazing.
But don't use those with batiks because the chemicals will pull the dye out of a batik.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Good to
Yep.
know.
Yep. I will say that the one thing that I do, because Karen Brown from Just Get It Done Quilts has a really good video on this. It was a couple years ago, but she did a video where she pre-washed the fabric and then made the quilt. she made the quilt top and then washed the quilt top and then quilted it. And then she did the quilt and the quilting and then washed it and showed the different sizes for how everything kind of came together. And you could see the shrinkage. So, you know, your fabric is going to shrink if you don't pre-wash it. It's going to happen. Even if you use starch, sizing, whatever, steam, still going to shrink. So if it's important to you that that quilt is big enough to give you a drape or whatever, just make your border a little extra bigger to compensate for it and you're fine.
You're going to lose 1 to 2 inches in the wash.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't pre-wash mine.
What is Teresa's YouTube channel? Exclamation Teresa in the chat will get you a link. Thank you for subscribing.
Wait, that was quick, Becca. You're so quick.
Okay. Are we ready to pull our winner for a $100 gift card to Fat Quarter Shop? Are we ready to do that?
Yes, do it.
Yes.
Let's do it.
Yes. Okay, so I'm going to find a random number generator. Random.org is a great place to go, maybe? No?
VR, I do. I use sheets sometimes for the back of my fabric or my quilt.
I use sheets on a lot of quilts. It's common for me to use sheets, just cotton sheets. So I don't use polyester sheets.
It's easy.
Yeah.
Okay, so I am going to share my screen. Well, hold on. Before I do, I don't want to give away everybody's contact information. That would have been
The
hilarious.
sewing channel lady looks like my boss. Oh my
Saw that
word.
comment.
Where do you work, Sharon? I just might be your boss.
She works with you. Okay.
Wait, Tracy, you have a 9 to 5?
No, ma'am.
Oh,
Just my
okay.
sewing room.
I was gonna say, I thought you stayed home and sewed like me all day.
I do. My husband let me retire a few years back, and I said, okay. You have to twist my arm.
All right, so here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna share my screen now. Dun, dun, dun. Ooh, I gotta pee. I'm sorry, that was out loud.
Yeah, it
Here,
was.
the max, and I'm gonna hit generate, and whatever number this is, we will go to the spreadsheet and we will look at who's in that row number, and that's who won. Are you guys ready?
Yep,
Wow.
drum roll.
Okay, come on. Like, no? Okay. I feel like how many times should I hit the generate button? Because it's anticlimactic to do it one time. Somebody give me a number.
3.
3.
I don't even
Okay.
know what you're doing.
I'm going to click the generate button 3 times. The number that shows up after I clicked it the 3rd time is who's going to win. Are you guys ready? Let's have a countdown. 1, 2,
That's not how you count down.
3. Okay, fine.
That's
3,
how I
2,
do it.
1. Either way, live stream, I just said I was going to pick it on the live stream. So I will reach out to Connie tomorrow and send her her $100 gift certificate to Fat Quarter Shop through email.
Cool. That's awesome.
Yeah, I have to do
Congratulations.
that random number generator. I have to press it like 5 times because the first like 3 or 4 times it says the same number over and
Oh,
over
really?
and over. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's the one that I use or what, but it does it every time.
Gotcha. All right, so we went 20 minutes over my 10 o'clock curfew.
Oh no, is Daddy gonna spank you?
Hopefully. The only one not amused is Tracy. No, both of them are not amused. Teresa
What?
was
I don't know. I was daydreaming for a second. I'm sorry.
What about Big
I
Bang?
really was.
I'm bad to be on live stream with if you haven't noticed already, Tracy.
I think I'm the worst to be on live stream with because I can't tell what everybody's doing and I don't know when it's time to talk. I don't know.
Oh,
none
you
of it.
probably don't have it on grid view then.
I mean, Becca's over there saying she's gonna do a countdown. She starts with 1. I'm still thinking about that. You guys are way on to the next episode. She messed me up. So yeah,
Um,
sorry.
Mona actually does have one question. For Nancy said Ian fell out of his chair. And did she just say that? Yes, I did. Mona wants to know, is anyone going to do the fat quarter shop needlepoint for breast cancer? I will be doing the quilt along.
I
Is
don't
anybody
have time
going
for
to do the cross
needlepoint,
stitch?
honey. I don't have time for
I don't
that.
even know what needlepoint is. Is that like cross stitch?
I'm thinking.
Yeah, I think she's talking about the cross stitch. So
Oh,
Lori
okay.
Holt designed a pattern. It's actually really cool. You can go check it out. It looks like bras. It is
Well,
actually
the
bras.
patterns are really cute, but I mean, seriously, you guys, I'm making quilts. Where am I going to find time to do some cross stitching?
I
That
don't
stuff
know.
takes time, right?
Yeah, but could you do the thing with the hands again? Because that was
What,
pretty great.
the
The
cross
cross stitching.
stitching? I mean, they are doing some intricate stuff over there on the fat quarter shop. I mean, I'm thinking, girl, how are you doing this? She's making 5 quilts in a month and she cross stitches when she's not sleeping. I just don't know.
That's why I
I-
don't do anything else.
I think
I
she
mean,
has
she
She
must
bags
have a
and quilts.
team, although I think she's doing it all herself, but maybe she has a team. I don't know.
I think she has a team.
Yes.
She's got someone doing her cross stitching and she's holding it up saying that she did it. I don't know.
No, I don't think the
No.
cross stitching. No, but I have been on the
No.
live. No, I have
She's
been on the
doing that,
live.
I think. She's doing
Well,
them.
the cross stitch, yes, but I have been on the lives, and the quilts are done by team members, and she calls them out and gives them credit for the blocks and stuff that they're doing.
Okay, the quilts, yeah.
Yeah.
So she must only cross stitch.
No, she sews. She does it quickly,
Yep.
but
Where
there's
has everybody
so
got
much.
time? I don't
Well-
have time. Where's everybody got the time? I don't even work. And I don't have time.
I don't know. I have a rack full of quilts that need to be quilted. I'm going to send them to Teresa. You're welcome.
What's Teresa saying over there?
Just laughing.
She looks like she's praising the Lord over there.
YMCA.
I was on the radio today on the radio station while I was filming.
That's awesome.
Yeah, this could be
I
on your thumbnail, Becca. It could be me doing the cross stitch. Teresa's over there doing this. What are you doing, Ian? What are you doing, Tiff?
So this
We look
is
like a
this
bunch
is
of crazy
Quiltecca After
quilters.
Dark.
There you go. Tiff picking her nose. And Becca, she's on the floor laughing to death.
And as soon as in a second she'll start snorting. Just give
Oh,
us
no,
already
wait a minute.
did.
Becca's
already
standing
did.
up. We can only see her midsection. That's what she was doing earlier.
All right, guys. It's 10:30. I'm going to bed.
Yeah, I think
Thank
I
you.
need to. I think I'm going to go cross stitch or something because I got to keep up. I'm going to go cross.
I'm gonna
stitch.
call it karate stitch for you. You're gonna go karate stitch.
Oh gosh, if you would see the back of some of my cross stitch, you'd be like a child cross stitched it.
I don't do well with cross stitching. I want to, but I have to
Mm.
do like my level of cross stitching is when you have like 4 colors and it is a Lori
Yeah.
Holt pattern with like 4 colors and it's like 2 inches by 3 inches and no bigger than
Yeah.
that. And I'm okay.
There you go.
That's it.
Or
That's
one of
all I
those Walmart ones. Walmart has some tiny ones too.
Yep, I like the tiny, simple ones. So, all right, we are going to end the live here. Thank you guys so much for jumping on after Natalie left. This was a blast. I got no sewing done,
That's
but I
awesome though. Isn't it great to just sit here?
It is. It is absolutely great to just sit
But
here.
Teresa got cutting done.
I'm so
yeah,
happy.
Teresa was like a busy bee over there.
Teresa.
That's right.
Wow, Teresa. That's good.
So, all right, guys, thank you for hanging out with me. I'm going to end the live stream and I'll
Good
talk
night,
to everybody
everybody.
later. Bye.
All right.
Bye.